Hello, welcome to News Morning on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice, coming up in the next few minutes. Operators of workshops converting right-hand cars to left-hand deny blame for road crashes, citing technical expertise. Details of this shortly. Also on the program this morning, Ranking Member on Parliament Energy Committee, George Kwame Abuaje, describes government's intervention to absorb some levies as unacceptable. All these stories and more in the next few minutes. My name is Beatrice. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Now, President John Mahama has expressed confidence in a more stable power supply as the government intensifies efforts to improve electricity delivery after the Energy Ministry completed transformer upgrade. He gave the assurance whilst on a visit to the Northern Electricity Distribution Company as part of his Resetting Ghana tour, where he inspected transformers being deployed under a nationwide upgrade program.
Wrapping up his Resetting Agenda tour of the Northern region, President Mahama inspected ongoing projects in Tamale. At the Ghana Senior High School, President Mahama expressed satisfaction with the progress of work on a 1,200 capacity sports complex funded by the Ghana Gas. He also inspected transformers at the Northern Electricity Distribution Company NETCO office in Tamale. Addressing concerns over recent power interruptions, President Mahama said the outages are linked to ongoing technical works to strengthen the system and do not indicate a return to prolonged power challenges.
For many years, ECD and NETCO have not done a mass replacement of transformers to upgrade the power of the transformers to be able to meet the growing demand in the communities. And so the minister made a request and cabinet approved this. The Minister of Finance came to the assistance of the Minister of Energy and provide a lot of transformers for installation nationwide, currently 2,500 transformers. And so we're going to see stable power after this first phase. And like you said, after that, constantly we'll keep taking out the old transformers so that Ghana can have stable power.
President Mahama later visited the Tamale Teaching Hospital, where he inspected ongoing work on a cath lab project. Speaking at a town hall meeting, President Mahama assured residents of Tamale of a long-term solution to the metropolis' persistent water challenges.
When we came, one of the first things we did was to sit with Ghana Water and find out what their issues were. Part of the problem was that the traditional water works that is supplying water to Tamale, some of the motors were worn out and some had broken down. And so just by repairing the motors and putting new motors, we could increase the supply of water by several millions of gallons. And the studies that have been done show that the best place to get that water is to the south, that is towards Yape. And so we'll build a new pumping station there and we'll pump the water 21 miles from the White Water River to Tamale.
We see the presidency and the vice president, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has called for sweeping global reforms to strengthen democracy and promote fairness. The vice president was addressing the fourth high-level meeting of the In Defense of Democracy Summit held in Barcelona.
The summit, which began as an initiative during the United Nations General Assembly in 2024, aims to coordinate international efforts to safeguard democratic systems. The Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, said protecting democracy goes beyond elections and highlighted the need to strengthen institutions, improve governance, and ensure accountability. She also emphasized the importance of tackling structural inequalities and reform international legal frameworks to better protect women and vulnerable groups. On trade, the Vice President pointed to Africa's progress through the African Continental Free Trade Area, describing it as a major milestone.
What I want to see, very simple. Spain has been in Ghana for as long as Ghana has been in Spain. Where is our equivalent on GDP from Ghana in Spain?
She, however, said regional progress must be complemented by meaningful global reforms and called for international financial systems that are more inclusive, accessible, and responsive to the needs of developing countries.
In other news, Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai says the conduct of lawyer for Kwabena Duboahin is inappropriate for a defense counsel. Reacting to the public commentary of Samuel Atachia in the ongoing case against the former boss of the Signals Bureau, the Deputy AG questioned the open threat and theatrics in the media by the defense lawyer. He said there is enough evidence to secure a conviction despite the suggestions by the defense lawyers.
Standard ethical, I don't think I am a public official.
Right.
I owe the public explanation on everything I do. Okay. But I also don't think that it is fair to the accused person for me to come out of court every day and be saying things from my perspective. If you do that, you are oppressing the accused person. You are also likely to misconstrue because you are speaking immediately after court from your perspective, which may not necessarily be the objective perspective of what happened in court. So I don't think that is something I want to be doing, but I also don't blame anyone who wants to do that, even though the rules of ethics of lawyers doesn't support that. I believe that the outcome of the case will not be decided by public opinion. Of course, public opinion has some role to play. This is the case we are prosecuting. We have filed our evidence. So far, nothing has been disturbed as far as our understanding of the proceeding are concerned. Our witness was reported in the media for saying that they are not aware that she was not aware that any money has been stolen. But is that not what happens always? I mean, stealing in organizations, is it not always the case that when you finish and you are out of the office, then the next investigator comes to see that the money, nobody steals money and puts it on record, I've stolen this money. So I don't know what that was supposed to achieve, but there was a whole jubilation of that in the media by obviously people who believe in that angle of the issue. So we are focused, we are on track. We believe that we can secure conviction. We are not here to by force convict somebody who has not done anything wrong. So we are ready to go through the path to the end. But we believe that we will get conviction. That is our belief. If we didn't believe, we will file the case in the first place.
Court. Right.
Now, the ranking member on Parliament Energy Committee, George Kwabena Boaji, has described the government's intervention to absorb some levies on petroleum product as a populist approach. Speaking to the host of Hot Issues, the Member of Parliament said that what is being done is not good.
I don't think government has absorbed anything.
Why?
It's not true. What the government, it's rather the oil marketing companies. They have rather reduced their margins. So government has not done anything.
Are you saying the government announcing after the cabinet meeting that they are reducing and removing certain taxes, levies and margins, it was populism?
Which tax? Which of the taxes that the government reduced? No, government hasn't reduced any tax. It's rather the oil marketing companies.
How so? How are you getting that information?
Oh, I'm the ranking member for energy. So even not to go far, the COMAC CEO, Dr. I think Roland or so, he came out and said rather it was their margins that they have agreed to reduce their margins. They've reduced 2 cedis on the diesel and then 0.36 cedis on the petrol. It's not government. Government hasn't done anything. So the government is refusing to reduce the taxes that we initially want the government to do, but he is refusing to do it.
So the government of the day lied to the Ghanaian public?
I don't know, but I'm giving you the reality.
And in response to what you have said, the ministry has said that, and this is via their spokesperson, Richmond Roxon. He said the claim that the relief comes solely from industry players and not government is simply incorrect and false. These are revenues legitimately due to the state for the provision of essential services in the downstream sector, which the government has deliberately chosen to forego in order to cushion consumers. It is therefore misleading to suggest that the burden is being borne by the industry or the private sector The reality is that the government is absorbing this cost in public interest. And I believe they've put that cost to about some 200 million cedis for that 1 month.
That is why I'm saying that I have spoken to Roland myself. I asked him when I heard about it, I asked him about what is going on in the industry.
But the ministry said it's false. But because this is money that should be accrued to government. So government has decided they don't want it.
So they have given it to COMAC or what? The industry players? It's not true. I'm telling you, it's not true.
He says industry players are not absorbing that cost at all.
It's rather industry players. Currently, they are absorbing the cost. Because fine, if you bring in NPA and then BOST, if you bring like BOST, I agree, BOST is for the state, but it's not direct government. BOST and those.
So I mean, so if you were breaking it down, what is the component that is being absorbed by industry?
I can't give you exact figures, but I know NPA also has a build-up margin. BOST has a build-up margin. The other private sector companies, they also have a build-up margin. They are the ones who have reduced their cost. Right. It's not the state.
Right.
State collect tax. That's what state do.
And they haven't reduced.
They haven't reduced any taxes.
I see.
That is what I know.
In a separate development, renowned Ghanaian lawyer Thaddeus Sore has criticized the performance of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, arguing that the institution has failed to demonstrate real impact in the fight against corruption. He contends that public discourse has focused too heavily on blaming legal constraints rather than assessing the effectiveness of those entrusted with enforcing the law. In a write-up, lawyer Sore questioned concerns about the office's independence, noting that the law establishing the OSP clearly outlines its relationship with the executive, including the role of the Attorney General's Department. He argued that these provisions were known from the onset and should not now be used as justification for what he describes as underperformance. He further challenged the Special Prosecutor to test the law in practice, particularly on the requirement to seek authorization from the Attorney General before prosecution. He said demonstrating attempts to comply and any refusal would provide stronger grounds for reform than public complaint. Touching also on specific cases, Sore expressed concern over what he described as a lack of prosecutorial progress, including delays and procedural setbacks. He suggested that repeatedly restarting cases and failing to advance them undermines public confidence in the anti-corruption fight. Ultimately, Sore maintains that the core issue is not the law itself, but the commitment and the output of those in office. Some more here, and Ghana records an estimated 1,400 drowning-related deaths each year, making it one of the leading causes of preventable fatalities nationwide. Now, recent incidents, including the tragic canoe accident on Lake Volta, continue to expose gaps in public safety. Stakeholders are anxiously pushing advocacy to curb the rising death toll.
Drowning remains one of the major causes of death in Ghana, with studies showing nearly 1,400 lives are lost annually, a figure likely to rise without urgent intervention. Last week, 9 people drowned on Lake Volta after a canoe capsized in the Savannah region. Public safety officials insist drowning must be treated as both personal and national security concern, requiring immediate action. The Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, in partnership with the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, brought together key stakeholders, including security agencies, emergency service providers, and policymakers to develop strategies for prevention and improved water safety. Deputy Interior Minister Ebenezer Okletete-Labi says the rising fatalities underscore the need for stronger national action.
This comes at a time when Ghana has once again been reminded through recent heartbreaking drowning incidents in our country. As a member of Parliament and as a public servant, I have seen firsthand how one preventable tragedy can leave lasting pain for families and entire communities. As a representative of the people committed to working with all of you to improve safety in practical and meaningful ways, because leadership must not only speak, but it must also listen.
Central to the new approach is the strengthening of lifeguarding systems to monitor high-risk zones, provide rapid response, and support rescue operations. Experts, including Professor Abdulgafar Bachani of Johns Hopkins University, are calling for stronger local institutional leadership to sustain drowning prevention efforts.
This initiative was co-created with Ghanaian stakeholders, ensuring that the design reflects local realities and institutional strengths.
Professor Emmanuel Nakwa of the School of Public Health at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology adds that research-driven policies will be critical in reducing fatalities.
Too often, drowning incidents are viewed as isolated accidents rather than as symptoms of broader systemic risk. Families grieve privately, communities absorb the loss, and underlying hazards remain. But drowning is not inevitable. We know that many drowning deaths are preventable when evidence-based safety measures are put in place.
As Ghana confronts the growing threat of drowning, authorities say sustained investment in safety systems, public education, and interagency coordination will be key to saving lives. Stanley Niblew, TV3 News, Accra.
And that's all for News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Do continue with us on New Day.
You not get them.
It's a beautiful
Fantastic.
day.
Fantastic.
It's just a perfect song to start a day like this.
Yeah.
It's a Monday. The month of April seems to be galloping.
It's true.
Is it just me?
Yes, no, it's not just
We're already
you.
20 days in.
Yes. Today is 20th.
Yeah.
I actually almost thought 21st.
Are you in a hurry?
No, not really. But yesterday I realized it's really running like
yeah,
this.
the month is galloping.
Yes.
But we're grateful for every new day and a beautiful day such as this one. The blessing of the gift of life and the opportunity to be here to serve you on TV3 Newday. Have we all had a wonderful weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you had a good one because you're looking all bright and shiny and you look very well rested. I love
Thank
the
you.
pink.
Thank you.
I love everything that's going on. I love all of it. All of
Thank
it.
you.
You look very great.
Thank you.
And someone is wearing a new outfit today.
Yes, it's very nice.
And
New
it's,
outfit!
and it's by Elizabeth. Elizabeth, thank you so much for making this. I think I look different, yeah.
Yeah.
You look like you're about to run
this
for some
political
political
suit.
office.
Yeah.
Political suit, yeah.
You look like you're about to run for some political
Touch
office.
it. I love the texture.
This is what Eduji and then Andre Japamesa, they'll be coming on Big Issue this morning. This is what they wear all the time. So Elizabeth decided to make one for me. I think I look splendid, not bad.
Yeah, you do.
Elizabeth, thank you for this as well.
Oh,
and over the weekend, we had the formal ceremony of engineers and planners being handed over the mines at Da Mine, and it's now formally called the Da Mine. Is it Da Mine Gold Fields, right? Or Da Mine Gold Company Limited? I need to get this quite well. And so let me say good morning to you, Pai Fiankum. Okay, Da Mine Mines Limited. Okay, Da Mine Mines Limited, and of course we had a lot of discussion on many platforms that I was on, especially the WhatsApp platforms about pros and cons, etc. But I think the general overview was that we need to have a Ghanaian go to manage the Da Mine mines, and Ibrahim Mahama was able to ultimately address the crowd, even though he was not on the list of speakers of the day, and subsequently was able to recall events leading to the current situation as we have it, and we're hoping that we'll do very well as well. He has a lot of history on the side with engineers and planners, and with their subsidiary, Da Mine Mines, they'll be able to do what we expect of them as Ghanaians, certainly. All right, and what were you up to? I was watching the Manchester City Arsenal game. Did you watch it?
No,
it was the most difficult, most painful, most nerve-wracking football match I have watched in a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
It was so tight.
Yeah. So even though I'm a Chelsea fan, which I ask for Chelsea, I know say ask for Chelsea, but Arsenal, I don't know.
I love to hang around when
I don't know. Charlie, Arteta is just bottling it up, has been for the last couple of games. And from a 12-point lead, they are now just the nick of it. And it looks like with two games to spare and then only one for Arsenal. I don't know how it's going to, when it comes to the outstanding. And they have a couple of matches to play, about 5 more matches to play. And so I don't know what's going to happen to Arsenal.
Don't lose hope.
And you can clearly see that the momentum is on the side of Manchester City.
Don't lose hope, Roland.
And Arsenal fans, that's why they are the most patient.
Let me tell you.
Look, if you want to pick a wife who supports Arsenal, not the ones that support Chelsea and Real Madrid. They don't have patience, you know.
Arsenal fans understand pain and suffering. We have the spirit of endurance.
Oh, you're an Arsenal fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
why Haas is not doing so well. You're not bothered.
We're able to endure. We have staying power. We are loyal. And we are not going to up and leave you because times are hard.
Yeah.
And yesterday, you know, we've been going on this downward spiral for some time now.
Yeah.
We started by eyeing the quadruple, you know. There was this whole thing about the quadruple.
Going down, it was just recently.
We're on our way.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was just recently.
But this happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, Arsenal will carry you like this, right? And give you hope.
Now I declare
and at the last moment, they will just drop you. Look, last night, I watched the match with a very open mind. Like, I wasn't emotionally invested. I was very open-minded. Like, anything can happen. When they scored that first goal, I just logged off. So I stopped watching and I started monitoring on goal.com to see whether we were going to equalize, which we did. And then after, in the second half, they came and scored as that second goal. But it's all right. If you know an Arsenal fan or you have an Arsenal fan in your office, please give them a hug this morning. Evans Kweku Obwo, good morning. I'm greeting you, and I hope you are well. Riz Nyabakwe, good morning. I hope you are okay this morning. Which other Arsenal fan do I know? Bilishen, yes.
Oh, me, I know a couple of people.
I hope you're okay this morning.
A friend of mine lives just around the Kumasi airport.
Okay.
And Kweku Boateng is a great Arsenal fan. He's a do-or-die Arsenal fan, also a Kotoko fan as well.
Okay.
And that's a good thing. So Kweku Boateng, wish you all the best for the day. And,
anyway.
Just yesterday we were texting and he said, Charlie,
it is well. It is well with us.
It cannot be well. It cannot be well.
Let me just quickly read some hellos and good mornings coming in. Good morning to you, Na, to Beatrice, Roland, and all your cherished viewers. I wish to use this opportunity to extend warm regards to Roger T.D. Wills, our committed and articulate voice of the NDC. We appreciate your consistency and insightful contributions to the national discourse. And this is coming from Enoch. Good morning, now. Can we please not start this day by ruining it already? Arsenal has broken our hearts, but Gunners for life. And that's from Elizabeth. And this one says, now, once you have said Roland has political ambitions, you are a conduit for relaying the information to the rest of the country. We accept.
Reminds me of when they said now was going to be, is it Crow?
Leja Kuku.
She went to do the water crisis because she wants to be MP. Yeah. Happens. But today, so we're here to talk about whether there's an end to the current impasse following the High Court ruling, and then also there's a case before the Supreme Court, some interpretation that it also needs to undertake. And it's in relation to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and then also the Attorney General. And we all know that with Article 88, it also means that, you know, was there a lacuna, or now we have a lacuna in place? So we want to exhaust this morning. So we're going to have Andre Japamesa, a lawyer as well. And then, of course, the MPA boss, Director of Legal NDC, that's Edu Jitamaklo, also a lawyer. So it helps us to put all the matters into perspective. And then we're going to have lawyer Pia Dankwa of the UP also here, and then Dr. Tutubuain. So we hope that we can do justice to the matter, because there's been an interaction that's been put together with the Deputy Attorney General, Justice Remsai. So after 9, we're going to bring you the full detail of his conversation with Alfred, right here on TV3 Newday. Okay, yes. So we'll have a lot of perspective to the matters this morning. So we'll see the political twist to it on big issues, and then we're going to have what's based on the Attorney General's own perspective, what it is with Justice Remsai, the Deputy Attorney General.
Yes. And we're going to start the conversation on this morning segment. And we're inviting you to share your views as well. Many things have been said from the High Court, from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, from a lot of lawyers commenting on the matter, and then the rest of us in the country also wondering what this means. There's a current, if you like, constitutional standoff of sort between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Attorney General's office. And the question is whether or not the Special Prosecutor can go ahead to prosecute corruption and corruption-related charges independent of the Office of the Attorney General. Now, while we know that the Office of the Attorney General has constitutional prosecutorial powers per Article 88, and the Act establishing the Office of the Special Prosecutor also says in, I think, Section 4.2 of the Act, that the Special Prosecutor, the prosecutorial powers he has is subject to the Office of the Attorney General. And so the question now that a lot of you are asking, and a lot of commentary on social media directs to, is whether all of the many prosecutions, if you like, which have begun by the Office of the Special Prosecutor without the authorization of the Attorney General can still stand. That the Office of the Special Prosecutor have to always go to the Attorney General seeking authorization before they begin anything. Did the High Court properly interpret Section 4.2 of the Act, which establishes the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and the conversations on the side of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the things they have said about whether or not the High Court judge had jurisdiction to pronounce over that matter the way it did. What do you think? Let us know. We're going to activate the phone lines now, and you can have your say. It's time for This Morning. And you're welcome to This Morning segment on Newday on TV3. Yes, so we are looking at the prosecutorial powers of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, which has come under scrutiny because of a High Court ruling that per Article 88, it is the Attorney General that is vested with that power. And of course, we did tell you that we already have a conversation with the Deputy Attorney General who will be giving us his interpretation of this whole issue. But really, you have also been following. What do you think of the conversation so far? Colin, the numbers will be activated very shortly, and share your thoughts with us. But Roland, you've got really some analysis for us as regards the performance of the Special Prosecutor, which has also been one of the main highlights of the conversations we've been having beyond the issue of the prosecutorial powers.
Well, certainly. And we know the act that establishes the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Act 959. And so far, while the perspective of what we're about to do is not necessarily about whether it has jurisdiction to undertake a lot of the cases, so far it has in relation to the outcome of this High Court ruling and then the interpretation that is being sought at the courts. It's also about its performance so far, the number of cases it's dealt with. And Beatrice, and just to take you through, so far we have currently active investigation ongoing, 100+ cases, we're told, persons facing trial in the numbers of around 30 to 33, and then the criminal charges filed in relation to Ken Oforiatta as well as others of interest, as the discretion would always be coming from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, are 78. Now, you take a look at the ongoing proceedings. So far, what has been able to be achieved, we're talking about ongoing criminal trials, 8 counts by relation of the charges so far, and then also persons standing trial, 33, and then the civil proceedings being the numbers that we have by way of the 10 cases that we have. So the question then is, if these are the ongoing investigations, have there been convictions? And we're told, based on the numbers and the statistics, we have 7 convictions so far secured by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And so now, and Beatrice, we know that the Office of the Special Prosecutor and then the prosecutor himself, since its establishment, have always come under pressure, whether it's Martin Amidu, and then, of course, now we have Kesia Jabing. The question then is, at the time that the passage of the act was ongoing, we had the bill itself submitted, memorandum also submitted as well, to the Legal and Constitution Affairs Committee of Parliament, and a lot of perspective have come. We have even a former Attorney General Ayiko Otu also commenting on the subject, whether it was right or right to be having the shape and form the way the OSP Act has been drafted and then passed. But the perspective is still out there. We'll wait for that Supreme Court outcome and get to see the way forward. But so far, We have Deputy Attorney General Justice Tremsa also wading into the matter.
All right, let's talk to you now. If you're just joining us, we are on the conversation on what appears to be a standoff between the authority given to the Office of the Special Prosecutor being subject to the authorization of the Office of the Attorney General. Many of you have already sent in your comments, but let's hear you speak to us live on the show. We have our first caller joining us. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is ABC from Tamale.
Good morning. Great. Great to have you. What are your thoughts on this matter?
This is ABC from Tamale.
Yes. What are your thoughts on this matter?
Yeah, let me say good morning to you, Nasheko, Mr. Roland, and all entire workers of TV3. Hello?
Yes, you're live. Can we go straight to the
on
matter,
the issue of OSP versus Attorney General. I think that I think that the issue is that the OSP office shall be scrapped since the taken over by the new administration. Because if you look at the issues surrounding this office, you could realize that the way a manner 10 operator got to smuggle out of this country, OSP have a hand on it. Because from day one, OSP is telling us how it's following the case. Until we realize that all what he's telling us is not true. So it means if we are going to allow OSP to be doing what it's doing, no one is going to be prosecuted in this country. Because he will be using his office and the party that he belongs to, sabotaging the current government. Recently, you hear what they are accusing the current government, that if indeed they believe that they are corrupt, they should do what? That they should arrest them, or they should prosecute them. And all this thing is in collaboration with NPP and the OSP in the office. So I think that the only thing that will settle this thing is to scrap that office and leave AG alone. But coming to the substantial issue.
Please land for us so we can accommodate more callers.
Yes,
okay.
By wrapping up, I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency. You know, what this weekend was in our region. That's his own region. And he initiated a lot of projects that is going to carry in our region. And I want to use this opportunity to thank you very much and thank our Deputy Road Minister, the Road Minister himself, and my mentor, that Honorable Salam.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
NLA.
I appreciate the call. All right, so you can also call us now. Let us know your thoughts on this matter between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Office of the Attorney General, and whether or not the Office of the Special Prosecutor's prosecutorial powers are subject to the authorization of the Attorney General. Now, many critics are saying that this provision undermines the powers of the Special Prosecutor. But what does the law say?
I mean, and that's why opinions are divided, really, about performance and then about the article and the Constitution itself. This morning, we read a bit about what Thaddeus Sori, who is a respected lawyer, said, really, that it's not about the Constitution, but it's about the person who is in place. Yet, when you look at the provisions, the acts that establish the Special Prosecutor, the office itself, it talks about, when you referred to 4 earlier, 4.1, I believe, says that he is not supposed to be subjected to any authority, either by person or institution. Yet, when you look at the introductory bit of this act, it says that he's supposed to be working on the authorization of the Attorney General. So I tend to agree with those who are actually discussing this very act, how it was put into place, which eventually established the Office of the Special Prosecutor. I think that there should have been a bit more clarity and a bit more straightforwardness, as it were, towards really the relationship between the Attorney General and the Office of the Special Prosecutor. But we do have another call on the line. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Beatrice.
Yes, sir. Please tell us your name, where you're calling us from.
My name is Brakofi, calling from House Attorney.
Yes, sir.
In the Western region.
Okay. Please share your thoughts with us.
All right. Good morning to you and your team. Is it this issue about OSP and the AG? I think AG taking over that prosecutorial powers from the OSP is the best thing ever. You see, let's put Poladum Office case in study. You see, this OSP is an agenda. Whenever there's an issue about any MPP office holder, this one will run quickly, take the case, touch it, so that nobody will touch it. You see, when it's like that, we see things as if you are there to serve the interest of those MPP office holders. So I think the best thing is the AG to take it from even that office. I don't know I don't know their use from the Martin Amidu to this particular Anquanoma. I don't know the exact thing they're doing. So it's better. They should scrap it. The whole office should be scrapped and the AG to take over. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling us. I believe he said from the Volta region. Yes. I mean, the politicization of this is quite interesting. We do have Sani on the line with us. Good morning to you, Sani. Thank you for joining us. You're joining us from Wali Wali. Thank you once again today.
Good morning. How are you, madam?
Good morning. Doing very well. How are you?
I'm fine. So how is our truth faring now? House of Folk. I'm also a fan. How is it? Phobia. Okay. Yes. So yes, I think that this issue about the OSP and then the age, I want us to see how it will end in the Supreme Court, because the OSP is saying that they are going for what a review, okay, in the Supreme Court. So let us wait and see. But for now, I support what the High Court has said. Even though we are not lawyers, but we can also read that Article 88 that gives, that power, prosecutorial power to the AG, and it can only delegate, to some institution to prosecute on its behalf. And then even in the OSP Act, it is clearly stated that when they want to, conduct or do any kind of case, they need to seek authorization from the AG. Do you understand? Before they embark on that. So if over the years they are not doing that, and then it is found out that what they are doing is wrong, they cannot tell us that, it is Parliament, the law was passed in Parliament and all that. You know, any law, subsidiary law that is passed in Parliament or by law, whatever it is, okay, which is in contravention with the law, and it cannot be made to stand. That is what we are made to understand, even though we are not also lawyers. So any law that conflicts with the parent law, that is the Constitution, cannot be made to stand. Do you understand? So I think that they should understand. And why? It's not difficult, because the AG is saying that, yes, if they want to prosecute, they can apply to them. They can make application for them to give them authorization so that they will go ahead. So if they are truly interested in prosecuting, offenders of laws, I don't think it is so difficult for them to apply. But to always say that they are going to court, they are doing this, they are doing that, I don't think that is good at all. So I want to end here by greeting Shamima Muslim Hajia. She's a sister to me. It's been a long time. I'm greeting him. And then the former NDC parliamentary candidate for Wali Wali, Abubakar Abdullah, and all my people in Wali Wali. Have a blessed day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a blessed day as well. Sani from Wali Wali. We do have another caller.
Yes, we have another caller joining us now. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Medina question.
I beg your pardon?
Medina.
Hey, Medina, it's been a minute.
Yes.
Great to have you.
Thank you. And greet Mr. Roland for me.
Mr. Roland responds.
What
are your thoughts on this matter?
Okay. And you, a beautiful lady, good morning. And to your production team, agree.
We all respond. Let's get into the matter now.
Simple question. I want to ask this simple question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Supposing TV3 want to expand its tentacles across the length and breadth of the country, will TV3 go and establish a studio at every region, or they will look for more hands?
What's your point?
I am asking this because if the state called Ghana think the Attorney General cannot perform its work, is it the hands that you will look for, or you open, or you start another prosecutor office? Does it make sense? When you go to every AG office at every region, what is lacking is personnel. Why is not employing more lawyers? Because now we have abundant lawyers and pay them good for them to serve the state and the AG office, so that any issue they can take up the issue. And NPP is very smart political party. And they brought this OSP office just to intervene in when they are in opposition, so that they will make it as if that they are fighting corruption. That office is fighting corruption. When you break down did the analysis, the work of OSP, you could see that nothing the state has benefited from them. Nothing. Do you open the office just to mention names? What? They should give us what they have been retrieved from the people that they have been alleging that they have been involved in illegality. So I don't think read the Article 88 of the 1982 Constitution. It states clearly, even that when you read that clause or article to the person will know that it is the power, it is the authority of the AG that has the right to prosecute everybody. Then why do you have? And in this country, it is just anything that is inconsistent with the law of the 1992 Constitution should not stand. And I want to blame the Ghana Parliament. Ghana parliamentarians should be ashamed for allowing this office to be established. They are the cause of all these things. We allow them to sit in the parliament and not in the law. So they are the people that they should in our law. They should do what is right for the people.
All right.
Thank you. Should make sure
Thank you,
this office, else it is going to cause the AG not to function well.
Thank you, Majina. Thank you. We have another caller joining us now. Thank you. We have another caller joining us now. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Where are you calling us from?
My name is Isa, calling from Bole.
Isa from Bole. Great to have you. What are your thoughts on this matter?
My sister, I don't think we are fighting corruption as a country.
Why is that?
Attorney General and then what do you call him? The OAS.
Special prosecutor.
What we are expecting from them, I think they are not on top of issues. There are a lot of allegations on corruption in this country, and it has dominated past elections. And then up to now, we haven't had a single person has been prosecuted. So you don't deserve to be in that office. But now this morning, I want to greet Arise Bole youth leaders. They have done a fantastic job. They are helping the people of Bole Bamboy. May God bless them, and they should continue. They should keep it up, and they stand on their feet, so that Bole will rise again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very quick there. We do have another caller on the line. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us your name, where you're calling us from.
Good morning. Please, my name is Innocent Ray, and I'm calling from Tamale.
Okay. I hope Tamale is well this morning.
Tamale is doing good.
Great.
And I will just monitor the programs. Today, like the topic for discussion is kind of so worrying because an institution is set up to fight corruption, only for us to wake up one day to hear that that institution doesn't have any prosecutorial powers. It has to drive it from another institution. So we ask ourselves, what was the reason behind establishing that particular institution in the first place if it can't fight the corruption to the letter, only to hand it over to another institution? I think sometimes we have beautiful ideas, but when it comes to the implementation, we implement it but leave a space to always manipulate it, and that doesn't help us. Because like we are not doing it in full force to serve the country. We are only doing it to maybe serve a particular interest at that particular point in time. So I think this current government needs to review it and then put things in place for future sake, not for its interest as well. And it shouldn't be a battle between the two institutions. They have to sit because they are all fighting the same cause. If they all have the country at heart, then they need to sit and then iron every loophole that is in the establishment of that institution. Because this current government pledged to fight corruption, and they campaigned on oral. So if oral seems not to be working, it's going to be a big problem. It's going to be a big problem because it means anybody can wake up one day, create a mess, then create an institution to fight the mess, only to leave a distant space to manipulate that particular institution. We need to wake up as a country.
Right.
We are losing a lot. We are losing a lot. And if we lose a lot and we don't put things in place to retrieve that lot, then what are we doing? We are only punishing the citizens. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You know, very mixed reactions, or mixed opinions coming through, but I like his perspective as well.
It's a different
that we have ideas, but it is how we implement it to the benefit of the country and everybody. That's quite interesting.
Well, let's read some messages coming in now. A lot of them are coming. I'll try to read as many of them as possible. Sawari Jacob from Laura says, the mandate of the OSP should be reviewed to ensure it is fit for purpose. Historically, Ghana demonstrated progress in combating corruption prior to the establishment of this office, suggesting that the fight against corruption can continue regardless of the existence. We must avoid maintaining redundant institutions to deplete public funds. All right. Good morning, now. Why can't, it's a very long one, why can't we be honest and true to our conversations on national issues in this country? During the vetting of the current occupant of the OSP, Kisi publicly said on Parliament on record that the OSP's act is problematic and the House needs cleaning, and that he would take steps to Parliament to have the act reworked for it to be fit for purpose. So the question we must ask the special prosecutor is why he hasn't taken any step to rectify the problematic act since he assumed office in 2021. Is it a case that he's deliberately using the problematic act to prosecute past alleged corrupt officials, for them to use the problematic act to be able to escape jail? All right. As we have it in the Mr. Peter Archibald Hyde case, again, before any person is appointed by the president as SP, the AG is the one who must first nominate him or her. Yet we don't have a problem with that. And we don't see the AG nominating someone for the SP position for appointment as a way of tethering the SP to the AG, but we immediately have a headache and insomnia when the SP is seeking authorization from the same AG who nominated him or her for appointment. How independent is the SP if it has to take the AG to nominate him? Double standards. Is nomination tantamount to relinquishing constitutional authority or power? Dishonesty, flip-flopping, and hypocrisy is sinking our country. And this is from M.K. Erickson from Techiman. Roland, do you have any more messages?
Well, so we have a number of individuals who have been posting public messages on their accounts, particularly on Facebook on the subject. Notable among them, just quoting and then responding as well. Franklin Kujo, we know, is with Imani Africa, has said one of the finest debates on the OSP matters. And this one is in relation to a a post by the legal practitioner, the distinguished Stadio Sori, writing on, so the law again is a culprit in defense of the AG and status quo, as well as K. Kujo also, who also made a publication and said that the law is not the culprit, the interpretation is. And you take a look at what Stadio Sori has written, and you go to 7, being among all his pointers, numbering over 10 as we have it. He said it was clear from the law itself that the whole law was a fiasco ab initio. We just went around in circles and arrived at the same point. Our argument was that once the president appoints the AG, we cannot trust the AG to enforce our corruption laws, yet we put it back into the law. So what is the problem this time? It is the law, the same law, and we are reaping the benefits of what we sowed. And continues that did the first SP, that will be Martin Amidu, not blame the president for his inertia. Then the second one came and still blamed the president for his inability to do anything worthy of a footnote in a book, because the former finance minister is the former president's cousin. And it continues about his own opinions. And we told you about how former AG, as well as practicing legal professional, and then, of course, a leading member of the New Patriotic Party, Ni Ayikwe Otu, also made a position or canvassed a position that the High Court really was not in the wrong in that judgment, and that it was not undertaking any action of interpreting the Constitution, and subsequently said that it was problematic once we still had Article 88 still standing, not amended the way it is, where we also have in place an office of the special prosecutor, of course, and the debate is still out there. And I don't know now.
A number of messages, really. Musa Batwa in Aswasi says, good morning, Beatrice, and from day one, I did not support the creation of the office of the special prosecutor. If the office lacks full prosecutorial authority to prosecute offenses, then what was the real purpose of establishment? This is coming from Fakakiwa. My regards to you, Beatrice, Na, Aunt Roland, not forgetting Alhaji Al-Hassan. It says the decision to deprive the OSP of prosecutorial authority is a major step in restoring public trust in Ghana's justice system and boosting accountability. It indicates a restored devotion to institutional equilibrium, openness, and the rule of law. Thank you very much. From Aziz Dola, says, I'm fully convinced now that the OSP should be scrapped completely because since its inception, there's no results to point to. Can you give your viewing audience one case OSP has won as an independent body since 2018? Aziz Dola. Then Nene Gaddafi Yilo Krobo says, good morning, Beatrice. I don't have a legal background, but per legal commentary surrounding this issue about the OSP versus Attorney General, it means parliamentarians did a disservice to this country, because if Article 88 shows the powers of the Attorney General, why should that OSP office be established on an act? Thank you very much. A number of you still sending us your messages. We do have Master Planner Jr. on the line. Good morning to you, Master Planner Jr. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to you, Beatrice.
Good morning.
Let me say special good morning to your other panel host, Roland, and then special good morning to His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, Ghana's President 2029, inshallah. And then Lawyer Henry Nanabuachi is currently is the organizer for the MPP, and he will be going for first vice chairman for the MPP. I know the delegates will surely vote for him. Now, I think this issue of OSP and then AG is not about politics, MPP, NDC, no. And we have to also be careful. The case is not between Kisia Jabin and then Dominic Aina. It's between the office of the special prosecutor and then the Attorney General's office. You see, Ghana's constitution is clear. I don't think there's even an issue here. Because the 1992 constitution is the supreme law of the country. And Article 88(4) states it clearly that it is only the Attorney General that has what? The prosecutorial power. And then the OSP Act I think it has shot itself in its foot. Because the OSP Act, I think Section 4, one says that, the OSP is independent. But it also says that it can only prosecute when it takes fiat from the Attorney General. So I don't understand why they say it's independent, but regardless, it has to also move to the Attorney General before it can prosecute. So I think the office name should be changed to maybe Special Investigator, because Special Prosecutor who cannot prosecute, I don't think it makes sense. So we have to either amend our 1992 Constitution to give the prosecutor power to us, the OSP and then the Attorney General, or we should scrap the office totally because it's duplication of offices. So I think our lawmakers, now that we are having constitutional amendment committee and stuff, they should work on these things so that Ghana will move forward. We need to really fight against corruption. Corruption is killing this country. Both MPs and MPs, when we come to office, we try to create loopholes so that we will loot the country. We have to recover all these things. It doesn't matter whether you are MPP or NDC. So let's not politicize this issue. Let's tackle the law and then close all the loopholes in this constitution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Master Planner Junior.
I don't know why a lot of commentary suggests that the OSP has no prosecutorial powers. I don't think that's what the argument is. It is that it is subject to the authorization of the Attorney General.
Yes.
So when he said that we should change the name to Special Investigator or Special Prosecutor because he has no prosecutorial powers.
Yes.
I don't believe that's what the subject of the conversation is. The subject of the conversation is whether or not his powers are subject to the authority of the Attorney General. So one question that has been asked is that why doesn't he just go and seek the authority of the Attorney General and then continue with his work?
Yes, because that's what the act that established it said.
Exactly. So why not just do that? Why are we debating the subject?
Well, perhaps there has not been that kind of collaboration, which is why evidently the High Court is saying, okay, then let me take away the prosecutorial powers from you.
But can the High Court do that?
Well, that's also another thing that he is arguing, and he's already said he's going to challenge it because that should be within the parameters of the Supreme Court, right? So I think we have Joseph on the line. Good morning to you, Joe. Thank you very much for joining us. Hello, Joseph.
Hello.
Yes,
Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you. Please, where are you calling us from? Share your thoughts with us.
I'm calling from Upper East. My name is Joseph.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. My concerning about the OSP and then the AG is just simple. You know, when the NDC took over, they set a committee to find the corruption called ORA. And you know, the mistake NDC people did is forming the committee to find what we call ORA. You know, I want to ask the NDC people, if you accuse somebody of corruption, you accuse somebody of stealing the state money, and now Ghanaians kick the person out of office, and you know one month for you to take over to find whatever happened in the office. Why should they even rush to form a committee called ORA? So the committee they formed called ORA, that is the disaster of NDC now. And they knew very well that because they came into the power and there's nothing like corruption, because the other was just an office. They wanted to use it to tarnish the image of the NPP party. But when they entered into the office and now look at the books, it was very difficult for them to find out corruption issues. And they know very well that as they are very difficult to find corruption issues, then the OSP will turn around to them. So if the OSP turn around to them, it will be a very, very big problem, especially the road minister and the Sami JC good board. The road minister, you see the corruption involvement of the award of the contract, 73 billion Ghana cedis within 6 months contract awarded by the road minister. Is it not full of corruption? Yet the government don't have money to pay others, nurses and teachers and increase public sector workers. But the road minister alone was able to use 6 months to award 73 billion Ghana cedis contract. So the NDCs, they are afraid because of the OSP will turn against them, and that would be a suicide for them. Then they have to fight it today and destroy the party, everything, the office. And I want them to know that as a Ghanaians, all of you are journalists and then TV presenters or whatever, let's not deceive ourselves that there is something called aura. There was just an office to carry the image of the former appointees. If not, they have come into the power. If you want to be, we'll fight the corruption. Wait and take over the office and find out.
Thank you.
That there is corruption. But they didn't do that, and now they are suffering. So it's only God that will punish NDC by the end of the day, and there's nothing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joseph. And very passionate
submissions,
yes, and submissions we're having this morning. A number of messages still coming in. Woo, this is coming from MK Erickson Techiman. Very long. I'm not sure whether I can read all of that. It says, greetings, Ms. B. Why can't we be honest and true in our conversations on national issues as a country? During the vetting of the current occupant of the
I think I read that.
You said?
Yeah, I read that.
Oh, you read? Yeah. That's what you read earlier. That was the long one,
yes.
Okay, and then let me read the others then. Stephen Penn, Mr. Stephen Penn from WA says, good morning, Beatrice and the Deputy AG has categorically stated publicly that the OSP will be given authorization on request. And I want to advise the office to do the needful and stop the public sympathy gimmicks. Ghana must work again. I think now that's what you were saying earlier. There's a message from Master Planner Junior who called us earlier and says the act itself shoots the SP in its own foot. I'm not a lawyer, but read the Constitution and act carefully. Section 4.1 of the OSP Act states that the office is not subject to the direction or control of the person or authority. I think that was what I was saying earlier, of its functions, except as otherwise provided in the Constitution. And from Mr. Simon Yenghua says, the SP has not done much to show for his office and rather blaming the AG's office for his failures. Maybe because the law allows the president to appoint both AG and the SP, and the current SP was appointed by the previous president. He could be playing games with Ghanaians. Greetings to you, Roland and Na, and to my son, Ernest Yen. Perhaps I will read this last but one. Kwamina Siditi Ahafwachensia says, good morning, Beatrice and Na. Majority of Ghanaians are calling for abolishment of the Office of Special Prosecutor, and OSP has failed to deliver results despite being set up to tackle corruption. And perhaps the last one I will read here, and this is coming from Tachuchi Kata Jr. from Wa West, says, a very long one as well. Good morning, Beatrice, Edu, and your wonderful team. As a country, we're truly grateful for this wonderful and landmark development. The High Court's ruling transferring the prosecutorial powers of the Office of the Special Prosecutor to the Attorney General is not only legally sound, but constitutionally correct. This decision vindicates the position our party has long held. All right, and our own Harry Naidusu during the passage of the OSP bill. Thank you.
All right, I'll read a couple of messages and we'll wrap up the segment. Now, if we're unable to read your messages, please forgive us. We have quite a number of them. Landlord from Bolga D-Line says, whoever wants oral to be effective and really understands how much criminals can use the OSP to evade justice and accountability will never support prosecutorial independence of the OSP. It can be a dangerous tool in the hands of criminals. My best regards to Dr. Ayine, Minister of Justice and Attorney General. All right, that's all time will allow us to read this morning. You forgive us for not being able to read all, but thank you so much. We appreciate your messages always. Still to come is big issues, but before that.
Yes, Peck Up Your Day, the Milky Way with a rich, smooth taste of Peck Milk shortcake. And you can go to any shop, any grocery shop near you and get the best varieties. It is just pure delight. You're still here on Newday on TV3. Like Na said, when we come back, we'll bring you the big issue. And also, we are cashing out today. We're giving 10,000 Ghana cedis to 10 of you. So dial *439#. As always, you follow the prompt, you pick number 2, which is your favorite platform right here on TV3. Get to play more, a lot of times, perhaps more than 40 times. Your number will show up on the dashboard, and you get to win at least 1,000 Ghana cedis out of the 10,000 we are giving out today. It's the beginning of the week. Don't lose this opportunity to get at least 1,000 Ghana cedis out of the 10,000 we are giving. Just dial *439#. You follow the prompt. You pick your favorite platform, which is number 2, right here on TV3. Stay with us. We're back with the big issue, sports, and some more.
And again, let's tell you that we have cash out. It goes with the Shoko *439#. Use as many tickets you can. Stake and then be part of this morning's bonanza. I keep telling you that you have to be part of this. We're starting a new week. And everybody watching us, we're grateful that you're watching. Importantly, *439# should be your short code for the whole week. So starting this morning, make sure you're part of the conversation. And please, enjoy TV3 Newday, because we have a lot coming. We'll be discussing a lot more. We're talking about which direction do we go from here, the subject matter of whether there's a lacuna or not, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Attorney General, and subsequently what the debate is in the public arena. We have a number of individuals, especially experienced legal practitioners who have weighed into the subject. Tadia Sori is the latest. Franklin Kujo also has commented about this. Early on, we also had a former Attorney General, Ayikwe, to also sharing his perspective on a sister station, and this is purely public knowledge as well. So, of course, with the main Saturday programming in the morning, having looked at it, we decided to give a certain new direction as we open the new week and take a look at it. Which direction on the subject are we heading as a country? And, well, we decided also to have some strong personalities on this as well. For those who have joined us, we're grateful. And I'll tell you, there's a gentleman who's doing some great work as well. Wembley Sports Construction, Robert Coleman. They've handed over, you know, last year the president, John Dramani Mahama, at the anniversary of Ghana, said that they were going to construct, you know, a sports facility, you know, the AstroTurfs and all that. So it's been handed over by Wembley Sports. We'll show you the pictures very soon. We also have an interaction. That's Mawina Egbert having an interaction with the Deputy Attorney General, and Justice Remsa is sitting with us. That'll be after 9, and before then would have brought you the latest in sports as well. So make sure you join us. I see all of you, Yamole Yamo, and Money Ni Money, all those who have joined us on our interactive platform on Facebook. We're grateful. Please share the stream. Let's have some great conversations thereof. I have Director of Legal of the NDC, and then also CEO for MPA. Right here, he's also a lawyer by profession. Good morning to you, Digitamaklu. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to our charity.
Yeah.
And good morning to my learned senior.
And then, of course, we also do have Andre Japamesa, a former Deputy Energy Minister. He's here. He's also a lawyer by profession, also an entrepreneur. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good
Always
to have
a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. We're
Good morning
grateful
to our cherished viewers and my good friend, Eduji.
Okay. So,
and it's only fair that I join you in commending the great job that Robert
Coleman
of Wembley AstroTurf is doing. I think he's been very consistent.
Certainly.
He's been extremely consistent in this business, and I think we should all encourage the activities that he's undertaking, particularly vis-a-vis the development of sports. You know, better sports development hinges largely on having good facilities. You know, the story is told of one of the Blaster games they played, I think, in Tripoli, where the field at the point was watered.
Oh, that would be OJS. It was a World Cup qualifier.
Oh, okay.
And then I think the 1982 African Cup too, they did same to the Black
And so
Stars.
they had to struggle with pitch and what have you. And since then, we've been trying so well to have world standard in terms of the pitch and others. And, you know, the curious thing is that the AstroTurfs that were built under the MPP administration and subsequently the continuation now, most of them are multi-purpose event centers. In fact, I remember there's one in, I think, Sekondi Takoradi. Now, even funeral and others, parties and what have you, that's where they do it. So they usually go beyond just sports into becoming multi-purpose event centers now. And he's distinguished himself in that field greatly.
Robert Coleman.
Yeah, I think it's one of the few Ghanaian companies who have not been impacted by changes in administration. Because Coleman started off in President Mahama.
And you and I are very close to him.
Absolutely. We worked with him closely during the Zoom Lion days.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You know, he's done well. He's done extremely well. And I think the new facility that he's doing in the Savannah region, Otamale, Northern region, right?
So he's
Ghana-
doing a
Ghana
number
school.
in Kalio. He's doing a number also. He's done. He just finished this one in Tamale.
Yeah, he did the one in second
year as well.
Methodist Park.
Oh, great.
For
For you.
me. And then he done an extremely good job. I think that is good that in the spirit of protecting Ghanaian businesses, it's good that the government is doing what he's doing. Obviously, because he himself has distinguished himself. And it will be important that courtesies are extended to other Ghanaian companies as well, so that they can grow and impact the economy in a positive way. Yeah. So kudos. Go on. We'll talk later.
Holy. All right. So we took you through the number of cases currently the OSPA is undertaking, but we also know this is stemming out of that judgment from the High Court, and subsequently we know that there's another interpretative matter before the Supreme Court as well. But Edwiji, it looks like the matters have come to a head. The criticism against the government of John Dramani Mahama, Nana Jino Pokuajiman, is that on the face of it, even though this one is not a direct decision by government, but rather an arm of the organs of states, that will be the judiciary, it creates a certain scenario and perspective that the government of John Dramani Mahama is really not poised to tackle corruption.
Okay. So first of all, I think having said good morning to my senior and your good self and our viewers, we put this matter in proper perspective. You know, the fight against corruption has always been a cardinal campaign issue with our politics. And so I recall that in the year 2000.
Okay, you recall the year 2000. Let me just also introduce Dr. Friye is joining us from Kumasi, the Garden City. Good morning to you, Dr. Friye. Been a while. An economic and political analyst, and so from the perspective of what watchers are indicating, the perspective it gives in terms of this, and then the optics, what does it mean? He'll be commenting on that. Dr. Friye, you've joined us, right? All right, so we'll get him. We have him. Please continue.
Yes, so if you recall, so the conversation on politics and corruption has always been key. So if you recall, when President Rawlings was president, one of the things that used to happen, and I remember Kofi Kumsin of the Chronicle, he used to take Rawlings's appointees to Shraj, and it's always an issue of corruption or abuse of office. And at that time, I think Nanado used to be his lawyer in those encounters. That has always been the nature of Ghana's politics. Then President Kufuor became president after Rawlings. Then the issue of the fast-track High Court and the matters that came thereafter, Chachuchi Kata, and all those people, quality grade. Fast forward, we got to a point where people said, look, it does appear that from the year 2001 to 2008, all the people who were corrupt, were prosecuted for corruption and corruption-related or even causing financial loss were all former appointees of Jerry Rawlings. And so during Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's confirmation hearing in Parliament for the position of Attorney General, the question of weaponizing the office of Attorney General for political prosecution became a very strong conversation at that time. That was when the view was expressed that if that is the case, then there should be the need to have an office that if it does the prosecution, it will not be colored. It will not have any political undertone. So that conversation of having this office started kicking in. 2016, the NPP then put it in its manifesto that there was the need to have an office of special prosecutor. Let the record reflect that this is not the first time we're having an office of special prosecutor. We've had it before. In fact, under the PNDC, there was an office of special prosecutor. In fact, there was a special prosecutor, Appear in the Republic, the famous case of Appear in the Republic, where the then special prosecutor, when he was made to investigate the Kowus Motors issue, he ended up receiving bribe from the person that he was investigating. And he took the money in his Ghana International Bank account. When eventually he was to be prosecuted, he raised the jurisdiction of our criminal court by saying that our criminal jurisdiction is not extraterritorial. And to the extent that he took the money from, his Ghana Commercial Bank account in London, it means that he was not within the jurisdiction of our court. And that is where the case of the Apia and the Republic is. I think his deputy was my senior Asasi Jima at that time. They all became prosecution witnesses subsequently. So we've tried it. Even Bright Akwete, at a point, was a special prosecutor. So we've experimented this idea before. For some of us, we felt that right from the beginning, there was no need for it.
You and who?
It was a position, a personal position I have always maintained, because I have looked at Ghana's history from 1956. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah contemplated this whole idea of having an office of special prosecutor. So it's been part of our political history. Then came the decision to have it. And at that time, I recall vividly that the argument was put forward strongly that if you look at the tenor of Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, yes, if you look at the tenor of Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, and the wording, first of all, is an entrenched provision. And any time the framers of the Constitution decide to make something entrenched, it means that they have in their mind a certain protection.
Which is?
To protect it from a certain interference. So if you look, it says, there shall be an Attorney General who shall be a Minister of State. In fact, he's the only known minister named in the entire Constitution. Only minister. Now it proceeds. The Attorney General shall discharge their duties, blah, 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 blah. The most important thing is 3 and 4. It says, quote, the Attorney General shall be responsible for the initiation and conduct of all criminal prosecutions in Ghana. All. No exception. 4. It says, all offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic shall be at the suit of the Attorney General. The first case that the special prosecutor took to court, I was counsel for one of the accused persons, the Republic versus Mahama Yariga. You remember? And I represented Mahama Yariga in that matter. It was the Republic versus. It was not the special prosecutor versus. No. So what it means is that it's an offense being prosecuted in the name of the Republic. And what does it say? It says it shall be at the suit of the, shall be mandatory. So with all this, when the debate came out for Parliament, and in fact, I just went through the third reading and I saw your comments during the debate, and in fact, I have the parliamentary Hansard on my phone. I looked at what Senior Enyimedu Entry, who was then chairman of the Constitutional, said. What Boabin Asamoah said. Honorable Chairman Sabonsu said. Roxanne Bernard-Ahiafo, all of them, the argument. They anticipated what is happening today then. But you see, at that time, there was so much pressure on the Akufo-Addo administration. And I want to read what is captured in the parliamentary Hansard just to demonstrate the nature of pressure that was on the government at that time. This is the Hansard of 26 October 2017. I read, Mr. Speaker, we are looking at the possibility of designing and fashioning a bill to ensure that the board becomes the only coordinating one. Proceeds. Mr. Speaker, finally, I think that we will support the bill. We know that we will continue to raise the issues. We believe that we need to fight corruption and do so in a very determined way. In order to do that, we also need to insulate the special prosecutor. Now listen, that is why the American embassy, in writing to us, in writing to us said, Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I beg to quote, our foremost recommendation, and that's from the U.S. Embassy, is that the OSP has to be seen free of political interference and political influences, unquote, the Hansard. So at that time, there was so much international pressure on the government at that time, okay, and civil society groups to have this office set up. So even when there were clear, glaring legal obstacles, it was ignored. It was ignored. In fact, I just want us to go back and read something that happened. And this is 26 October. On the 1st of November, the same special prosecutor bill. This is what happened. An engagement on the floor, 1st November 2017. With your kind permission, I just want to read. Mr. Speaker, you may do so. So this speaker telling Honorable Banda, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move clause 4, subclause 2, line 2, before authorized, insert B, then it goes on and on. And that is why if you look at section 4.2 of the OSP Act, it tried to create a legal engineering around these constitutional injunctions. And so if you look at clause 4.2, section 4.2, statute in sessions, you cannot, with respect, you see that there was an attempt to create a supposed independent office. But that independence that they were trying to create had this challenge. So listen to what Honorable Dr. Ayene, on the 1st of November,
current Attorney General.
And that is why I personally applaud him for his consistency. Listen to what he said on 1st November 2017. He rose. Then Speaker Michael Quay asked him, any objections? Then he said, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to propose a further amendment because we have not indicated the mode of authorization by the Attorney General. So I wanted to propose that she is authorized by appropriate legal instruments. Then listen to Speaker Lokwe. Where appropriate legal process of authorization means what? Then Dr. Ayene comes in. Mr. Speaker, for instance, she could do so by a constitutional instrument or by legislative instrument, where it will spell out clearly what the jurisdiction of the Office of Special Prosecutor is. This is because what we are doing here is to say that Parliament is by statute making the Attorney General authorize the Special Prosecutor. But she is the one who is delegating that authority, and therefore has to be a mode of delegation, Mr. Speaker. That is the point I'm making. Now listen to Okwe. Mr. Speaker, that's Speaker Okwe. What kind of authorization are you anticipating again? The person has been established by an act of Parliament, and you are going to ask the Attorney General to start authorizing, bringing in matters that lawyers describe as quo warranto. It will become a big issue by what warrant?
It was mentioned in.
Yes. That's Speaker Okwe.
2017.
2017, 1st November.
But read it again.
Yes, I'm coming. Let us not create unnecessary problems. If the special prosecutor is established to perform certain functions, are we intending somebody close to give him a warrant to start that which an act of Parliament has given him or her to do? What authorization? Let us be careful that we do not open unnecessary Pandora box. This is because the issues of quo warranto, lawyer, they can be very long-winded. Then your Wabia Samoa came in. So right from the beginning, even before the birth of this office, Parliament on the 1st of November, reading the interaction between the Honorable Dr. Dominic Ayene and Speaker Michael Quay, the idea of having authorization has always been an issue. Okwe's fear, which he expressed in the Hansard, was that doing so will create according to him, opened the Pandora box. What Pandora box?
Okay.
Today, the very reasons what he, Michael Quay, raised an issue with Dr. Ayene, he's all over the place repeating the very concerns Dr. Ayene has raised.
It's just a perspective he's sharing.
No.
Not necessarily his position when he was presiding.
No. I believe
the two cannot be the same.
I believe in consistency. He was the speaker who, shepherded, he was the grandfather of this process. The concerns he raised are still valid today. Let me make this point. The Akufo-Addo administration felt that they needed an independent so-called office for the sole purposes of political witch hunts.
That's from your perspective.
I'm coming. I'll conclude. However, they then realized that no, this whole idea of OSP is of no moment. Why? From the time Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo became president, he appointed 2 attorney generals. Godfred Yebu-Adame and Madame Gloria Akufu. Correct. It was under the tenure of President Akufo-Addo that he prosecuted the Cocoa Board matters, Dr. Opuni's matter, and Sedu Agogo and Agriculture. The NCA matter, the SNIT OBS matter, he prosecuted the Honorable Atuforsen on the ambulance matter. In fact, Opuni was prosecuted in April 2018 when the office was in existence. Do you know why they never got the office to do that? Because Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo wanted control on the prosecution of his political opponents. Because if you look at the framers and their intention for Article 88, they want the president to have control over prosecutions. Because prosecution is a public policy tool to be used by the executive only. And therefore, Akufo-Addo, who had been Attorney General before, understood this. So you notice that all the NDC appointees that were prosecuted from 2017 to 2024 were all prosecuted by the Attorney Generals appointed by Nana Addo Dankwa. None of them was referred. In any case, when was Atuforsen prosecuted? Atuforsen was prosecuted in 2021, December 22nd, by which time the office was already in existence. Do you know why Akufo-Addo never asked the OSP to take over that prosecution? No, he wanted Godfred Dame to have control over those prosecutions. He didn't want a special prosecutor, so-called, who he couldn't control. And so let nobody come here and create an impression that the person who created the office meant well for this republic. No. He himself had his own personal agenda. After the experiment with Martin Amidu failed, after he did the corruption risk assessment on the Ejapa deal, it became clear that Akufo-Addo could not trust anybody to hold that office. And so whatever became of that office was cosmetic. Respectfully.
And if I take a cue from a post from lawyer Kojo Ankoma, and that's lawyer Inan Ankoma, he says that Parliament passed the OSP Act to satisfy the constitutional requirement, and then posits that the AG nominated the special prosecutor not to attend a fufu. Of course, goes on to indicate what needs to be done. He says the president appointed with parliament approval, that's the special prosecutor, and crucially, the AG issued legislative instruments, especially LI 2374, which explicitly empowered the OSP to decide whether or not to prosecute after investigations, and indeed even after the other LI also was passed as well. So, according to lawyer Kojo Enanankoma, the delegation isn't just a casual one. he continued, it's layer upon layer of legal and constitutional authorization, and continues that, in fact, the AG didn't just give a fiat. The AG went further and embedded that authority in subsidiary legislation.
No, so if I understand what my senior Esankoma is saying, that the authorization is due to the LI, is that what he's saying?
No.
What is he saying? So read the post again.
Yeah, because he says, and if you take a look at...
Not a problem. You let me have my bite.
Yeah,
Okay,
so his argument is that the OSP and the passage of the Act is well grounded in the Constitution.
Without a doubt.
And so he doesn't need to go back to the Attorney General case by case, or even with any EI or LI, to be able to empower the Office of the Special Prosecutor to undertake its own cases.
I agree with him entirely. And you see, Eduji, it's important that when we are embarking on important subjects within the public space, we are, as much as possible, try to take away the politics. Because whether we like it or not, the corruption is real. Its impact on our public finances cannot be underrated. And so it's important that when institutions are set up to try and bring corruption under control, we take out this political gymnastics that you sought to do with your presentation. Okay. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, if he didn't believe in the OSP, like President Mahama doesn't believe in the LGBTQI, and as such has reneged on his promise to make it a public bill. At the time, we had 169 members of parliament, just like you have 188 or 89 today. We could have killed it. We could have. But he believed in it. He believed that we needed to take political control from prosecution necessarily, okay, and have an independent body that can hold public officers to account. And the point you make about Professor Michael Quay's statement, he is in fact consistent, and I'm surprised he probably doesn't recall his own comments that he made during the debate. Because indeed and in fact, if the enactment of the OSP Act clothes the special prosecutor with authorization upon the coming into force of the Act, then no further step, as contemplated by Dominic Ayine, Attorney General then, was required. And so the point that Professor Michael Quay made at the time, that look, if the law is clothing the office with the power, the Attorney General who promoted this bill is in and of itself granting the authorization with the coming into force of the law. And look, read the Constitution, read the OSP Act, read Article 88 carefully, and like the explanation that ACE has put out there, you will see that the office of the special prosecutor is structurally consistent with the Constitution, and the power of authorization that the AG is required to give has already been given. Because think about it. What were we seeking to do? We're making law, and law requires discussion. And so people's view certainly will be brought to the fore. Okay? People's perspective will be brought to the conversation. But ultimately, the intent of the framers of the law, in this case Parliament, was to set up a body that would be insulated from the Attorney General and to prosecute corruption and corruption-related offenses without any unhinged, if you like. And so if you say that, well, we've set up the office, but go to the Attorney General to go and take authorization at every material time that you are supposed to prosecute any offenses, what would have been the purpose of the law in itself in the first place? It would have been completely defeatist of the purpose for which the law was set up. So I'm clear in my mind that at the time when we're passing this law, you see, I recall, and you guys, if you think that, like you said, there's no need for the office, be bold and tell Ghanaians that this is your position. Because, thankfully, I was the vice chairman of the committee at the time that we were passing this law. I recall quite clearly. Yes, I was the vice chairman of the committee. I recall quite clearly when we were doing the clause-by-clause consideration in Koforidua, the current speaker, who was then the first deputy speaker, second deputy speaker, MP for Nadoli Kalio, came into the conference room, and when he sat and was listening to the deliberations, posed the question, what monster are you people creating? So right from the very beginning, they were not comfortable with the OSP Act.
Which people?
NDC. Listen to the commentary, their contribution on the floor. Yes, because we had the numbers, they had to cooperate. Okay? But deep down, they were not happy with the office. And so look at exactly what happened when they came into office. The very moment that their darling Martin Kpebu was touched, the majority leader and the chief whip brought a law, a private member's bill, to close the office of the special prosecutor, to abolish it. Now, somebody from the Deputy Attorney General's office goes to the Supreme Court to go and say that, look, the special prosecutor as presently constituted is unconstitutional. And so he wants a declaration to that effect from the Supreme Court. The Attorney General supports him with the affidavit that the statement of case that they filed at the Supreme Court. So if you don't want the office, say so. You said you've done a historical context analysis of all the governments in the past from Kwame Nkrumah to date. If you believe that the special prosecutor, in spite of the things that he did, both of them, the two that have been appointed, did against the government that appointed them. Okay?
What did they do?
Oh, but of course, they came after the government officials on the Akufo-Addo. They did not. Professor, Mr. Martin Abidu came after the president himself. Okay, I disagree with him. And this position on the corruption risk assessment of Ejapa, I completely disagree. But it tells you that given the space, the special prosecutor's office can in fact stand up to political authority and do what the good people of this country expect from them.
Without interference.
Absolutely, without any political interference. So if Mr. Mahama and his government are uninterested in the office of the special prosecutor, which clearly the signs are on the wall that they do not support the office and want to kill it at all costs, let them say so. To go behind this charade and make it look as if to say, what we sought to do in 2017 is playing back again now because we felt we did this law because of some international pressure and all those kinds of things. It's neither here nor there. The law has been passed. It is consistent with the Constitution. The allies that the Attorney General himself promoted, and Ace makes the point that this law and the legislative instruments 2373 and 2374 was not intended for the special prosecutor to attend Fufu and the Laisu party. It was intended to prosecute independently, and that is exactly what the law has said. I'm excited that the special prosecutor has appealed. Yes, the judge, in his understanding of the law, comes to the position that he's come to. But thankfully, there is a process, okay, which requires that if one judge, you're unhappy with the decision of a judge, you go up to the Court of Appeal. So let the Court of Appeal make a pronouncement on it, and I'm hoping that the Supreme Court, with the application that is pending before it, will also come out quickly so that we are clear with where we are. But if the NDC government doesn't want the special prosecutor because they feel that the office is going to come after its appointees, let them be bold and tell Ghanaians that that's exactly what they want to do.
I think before Dr. Friye, I mean, it's important.
Dr. Friye, I'll be with you soon.
You see, it's important with respect to my learned senior. He says that the NDC decided because Martin Kpebu was touched. And where from this claim? On this platform,
but it was after Martin Kpebu's investigation to the OSP that the private members
on this platform, and the altercations that
on this platform, you said the NDC decided because our manifesto is clear. The 2024 manifesto of the NDC is our social contract to the people. ending that social contract, we gave an indication how we will proceed with the office of the special prosecutor. That view was further reinforced that President John Dramani Mahama when he became president. In fact, when there was even a petition for the removal of this current OSP, the president forwarded a petition. The Chief Justice said there was no prima facie case, and the president acted in accordance. 2, you heard President Mahama say the OSP should be given the opportunity to operate. The president of the republic is the head, is the leader of the NDC. So in what material respect would you say this, if not for mischief? Candor to the fact, I think, is what we should call for. But more importantly, Malene Senior here, appreciate this. Look, when the matter came up for debate, once again, this is what Honorable Banda, and he knows who Honorable Banda is. Listen to him. Mr. Speaker, it is therefore become imperative to introduce in Parliament the Office of the Special Prosecutor Bill 2017. Now listen, objects of the bill. Objects. And we know, even for statutory and constitutional interpretation, the authority in Pepe v. Hart is to the extent that when it comes to the interpretation of statute and interpretation of the Constitution, proceedings, parliamentary debates, and others are verifiable aids for construction. You know it. It's a 1994 decision. What is the object of the bill as captured in the parliamentary answer? Listen, it said the object of the bill is to establish the Office of Special Prosecutor as a specialized agency to investigate specific cases of corruption involving public officers, politically exposed persons, persons in the private sector involved in the commission of corruption, and, listen, and to prosecute the offenses on the authority of the Attorney General. On the authority of the Attorney General. Senior.
Well, the perspective is that...
No, please.
When you say the authority of the Attorney General, what do you mean? Is it case by case authorization that is needed?
So you see, there is a learning, there is a received learning. What the Criminal Offences Act did, the Procedure Act 30 did. If you look at Section 55 up to 54 thereabout, it says the AG has authorized police officers to prosecute. So when the police officer is going to prosecute you for stealing and that, he doesn't go to the AG for authorization.
But that's not what this 9596 do.
It didn't. It didn't. You are denying that there's a need for authorization.
No, I haven't said so.
No, but that's the argument.
I'm saying that the law.
What are you saying?
959.
So you agree that it needs the authority of the AG?
Article 88 is clear.
So you agree?
No doubt. But I'm saying that authorization,
hold on,
wait, has
been
granted absolutely in the law.
So, Senior.
By its passage.
Absolutely.
No, so, Senior.
That's my point.
Let's proceed with the argument slowly. I mean, I prefer it.
I
just want to do.
If we had the whole day, let's stay and do that. I don't have any difficulty.
Who has the power to prosecute in this Constitution?
The Attorney General.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So the power to prosecute is that of the Attorney General. You agree?
But it's assignable.
Please.
Wait.
So, Senior, let's proceed step by step with respect. Now, if the Attorney General is the sole person under the Constitution to prosecute and can delegate that authority, right, per the Constitution, like you are saying, can Parliament purport to do that delegation on behalf of the...
But who promoted the law?
Please.
I'm coming. Who promoted the law?
Oh, Senior. Parliament...
Who submitted the Office of the Special Prosecutor's bill?
It's AG bill.
And so what are you saying?
The delegation was done by who?
The LI
The delegation was done by
who? Was done by the Attorney General.
Not Parliament.
But of course, when you pass the law...
And 237.
But Parliament has passed several laws that grants authorization to prosecute in the law.
On the authority of who? Of the AG. In this case, all the Attorney General and the position being canvassed today is a simple one. You can prosecute by the authority of the AG. How is this difficult for anybody to understand? And so when there's a conversation on the need for authorization, it means NDC is against the office. Ridiculous.
The question is, is the authorization a positive step after the passage of 959?
Why not?
You can have your view. My view,
yes,
which is consistent with some other person's view, is that that authorization was granted in law.
By who?
By the Attorney General.
Where in this law did the AG... Look at Section 4.2. Section 4.2 of the OSPR. Senior, with respect, read it. Section 4.2 of the OSPR.
No, hold on. So if you take a look at Section 4.2...
Yes. Kindly read Section 4.2.
Why is that relevant and not
because
4.1 as well?
Because 4.2 is...
So I'll read from 4.1.
Okay.
So that we'll put a perspective to it. So
this gymnastics is not going to help you.
Oh, please.
Section 4.1 says that the mandate of the office, under the mandate of the office, Section 4.1, it says, except as otherwise provided in the Constitution, the office is not subject to the direction or control of a person or an authority in the performance of the functions of the office.
Yes.
Then in 2 says that subject to clause 4 of Article 88 of the Constitution, the office shall, for the purposes of this act, be authorized by the Attorney General to initiate and conduct the prosecution
is that authority?
Corruption and corruption-related offenses.
You have not even adverted your mind to the law. You were the vice chair, the committee that...
I'm saying
because
to you that...
Section 4.2, please, Senior, with respect. Senior, I respect you a great deal. You know it. Section 4.2 of the Act says, subject to clause 4 of Article 88, you can prosecute on the authority. And that is why the guys who were being prosecuted by the office of the Archibald, he being prosecuted by the office of the special prosecutor, what did he do? He went to the High Court and said, High Court, Section 4.2 and the manner in which it is couched requires authority by way of a quo warranto. By what authority? So, my Lord, with respect, and if you read the judgment of the court, the affidavit evidence presented by the office of the special prosecutor, the judge put a simple question. Where is that authority pursuant to Section 4.2?
The authority is embedded.
And that was when they couldn't provide, with respect.
We have other like-minded bodies as well. Whether it's a Civil Aviation Prosecutions Act.
Yes.
And then we have IOCO, BOG. Yes. They all undertake prosecution.
No, and in fact, if you look at the IOCO Act, the preamble is clear that they are doing this on the authority. So the AG delegates, and at any time, and that is why you see, what's the name? What's the
GRA
name?
Same.
Raymond Archer will do the investigation.
Same. So why not to the OSP?
No, even Raymond Archer will do it and send it to the Attorney General. The Attorney General will review and go to court. Even the police, when it's a murder case, you know, when they take it to court, they will say, we are going to the AG for advice.
Okay, I get that.
Look,
when you get
they are only...
We know it.
No interference.
I agree. They are only seeking to hide behind what people have described as some, if you like...
witch hunting?
No, not witch hunting. What people have described as some misapprehension or, misreading of the provisions to create this attack on the office of the special prosecutor. That's what they're doing. Because as far as I'm concerned, look, if you read Article 88 in itself, okay, all offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic shall be at the suit of the Attorney General or any other person authorized by him in accordance with any law. The Special Prosecutors Act is not any law. It's not. 959 is not any law.
You see, I don't want
So, look, let the courts, thankfully, the special prosecutor has appealed.
Excellent.
Let the court make a pronouncement on it. But I'm saying that right from the very beginning, you guys don't like the office of the special prosecutor. You consider it as a monster who will come after your appointees. Otherwise, assuming without admitting that this authorization, so-called, is required. What does it take for the Attorney General to issue it today?
So
what
it
does
is one thing. It is one thing.
Assuming.
Does he concede?
Assuming. Who concedes what? That's who concedes. So is it a suggestion that? Is it a suggestion that until the special prosecutor goes to the attorney general to ask for the authorization, so-called, the attorney general cannot grant the so-called authorization to the special prosecutor?
You see.
Is that a suggestion?
Senior.
So look, let's not do this. Like I said, if it is your position, and don't go behind your manifesto, you promise the youth of this country Formula 133. Nothing has happened. And so the promises you make in your manifesto, you do contrary to that all the time. The youth of Ghana are waiting for the jobs. Where are they? The public institutions that you promised that were going to run 3 shifts, 8 to 5. The banks that you promised did adverts and told them they were going to be able to go at 2 a.m. to go and withdraw money. What has happened?
What's the topic for discussion?
But you went into your manifesto. Then I'm going there.
No, there's a specific
I'm going
issue
there to tell you that when it comes to your manifesto, I'm saying that. I'm right there. I'm saying that when it comes to your manifesto, don't speak to it. Because you made several other promises in your manifesto that you are doing contract to. So the fact that you said you were going to strengthen the special prosecutor and you found some loophole of sorts, you are exploiting it. Otherwise, give the authorization.
It was something you decided to ignore.
Give the authorization now.
You decided
let the Attorney General give it today.
You decided to ignore. But you see, we cannot also run away from the fact that you decided to ignore.
Who decided to ignore?
That's what you did.
Ignore what?
If you take a look at what public opinion is and the perspective, how do you think this debate, even from having watched this for the last 30 minutes, makes government look?
Well, thank you very much, and special greetings to your my co-panelists. You know, when you look at the OSP, I think the political actors have succeeded in confusing all of us at the end of it because of how the special, that is the OSP, was set up. At the same time, looking at their functions towards.
Dr. Friye. Dr. Friye. So in your perspective, they should go ahead, right? If really they feel that...
If they feel that there's some authorization that is required, I don't think there is, let them grant it. The very day that the judgment was issued, the Attorney General should have written a letter to the special prosecutor and tell them that I've given you authorization, because I've come to realize that over the past 7 or so years, you did not have authorization. Take the authorization and proceed to do your work. Let them do it now.
Simple.
Have you seen what happened during the vetting of Mr. Kissie Jabin?
When he broached the subject.
The Honorable Mahama Yariga asked a specific question, and he himself conceded that it's problematic. But that is not the discussion for his vetting. And so for you to do a 360 degrees and now say it is the NDC that is preventing that from happening. First of all, if you read section 4.2, Parliament cannot delegate a power it does not have. The power to prosecute is the exclusive region of the AG. So assuming, even for your reading, Parliament purportedly delegated that power to the office. Did Parliament have the power to delegate in the first place? You know the principle, delegatus non posse delegari. Can you delegate a power you don't have? You don't even have the power to delegate. Parliament does not prosecute, it's the AG.
But AG has the power.
Absolutely.
From the perspective of Japa says that, then let's go ahead.
No, but that's a
if we are committed to it. You think it's so simplistic?
You must first concede that there is no authorization. And now have a conversation that Attorney General, to this extent, just as you have done for police, just as you have done for SNIT, just as you have done for Forestry Commission, just as you have done for other ad hoc agencies, kindly do this authorization. Express. That is how you structure conversations in democracy. You cannot behave like a bull in a china shop and believe that we are MPP. Even if the constitution says this, we have our numbers in parliament. We'll push through it. And then we can use obfuscation, confusion, and everything to pull our way through. What kind of democracy are we building? Look, in the
That's why he says that he's questioning
in the mighty United States of America,
as stated in the NDC Constitution,
President Donald Trump decided to issue tariffs, far-reaching. It had bipartisan support, Senate and all those things. But eventually, when it got to the U.S. Supreme Court,
I'm not so sure whether he had bipartisan support.
Well, I don't know. But the point but the point I'm trying to make is that even the mighty United States
down. Yes.
Shut it down. So why are we creating the impression that
nobody's creating
all the mics are off? Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I was greeting. I think we had some technical. I was talking about OSP and the Attorney General. I think we have a problem of getting the two institutions to work together, because all what they have said, all what they've said about the OSP in terms of how it was set up, and also the agenda that it was to pursue, and looking at the personalities involved, at least we look at how the OSP has been performing, and also the agenda that it has to pursue. And that is what it has made it all stakeholders to look at OSP, that whether it is fit for purpose or it was intended for other political interest. And that is what we got ourselves into. And I think the OSP, I don't know, but their office, looking at the budget and other things that has been pushed to that office, and how things are being undertaken for a period. We can say that the OSP needs a kind of a review of how they have to perform to pursue corruption from individuals. So, for all these while, when certain institutions are being set up, mostly the political actors will tend to define it as a situation where we want to pursue our political opponent. So you cannot begrudge other political perspective of saying that the OSP was set up to pursue political opponent during the NADO's time, and also this time maybe they also see that in the near future, if care is not taken because they are pursuing the past government appointees, maybe in the near future they also will pursue. So these are the views that people think. But what we need to be more concerned is whether OSP was set up for the purpose. And here, I think Eduji was talking about the authorization. I think that is where the OSP find itself in a difficult situation, because it was created by the Attorney General Office, and the Constitution also have its own definition or its role for the Attorney General Office. So how it has been, at least the modus operandi of OSP, and I think Roland, there might be a problem between the personalities involved between these two offices, because if they come together, if the leaders of these two institutions, the Attorney General and the OSP, the Special Prosecutor, comes together, I think we might not be having these situations. And I see that there's a power play here. So, and then comes in the political perspective, where President Mahama wants to protect, as it was being set out by some NDC MPs to send the OSP to court for at least to just dissolve that office. So politically, I think President Mahama will find himself in a difficult situation, because if it goes this way, the political opponent will also look at the other perspective, that because he doesn't want to fight corruption, that is why he wants to collapse or want to make sure that it stays. So, Roland, what we all need to look at is to redefine the OSP if it is independent, then I think if it does, we want that independence, and I think we need to look at how it's being set up, whether it's being set up by the Attorney General or government will come out with something, I don't know whether it's LI or whatever, to create that office to be what? Totally independent from the Attorney General.
Okay.
And I think that is what probably might work for all of us. If not, I think that this will be a political football, and the politicians will just take advantage of it, both sides here and there, and that will create more confusion than needed for all of us. But I think OSP, the personalities involved, how do we select them, should also be looked at, because the experience of Honorable, that is Martina Midu, and also Kisia Jaben, we have to look at how we get people to fit that position critically so that we can help our corruption agenda in that perspective.
In 2 minutes, what's the way forward, DJ?
So you see, like we said last year, when Parliament, 2 MPs sponsored the bill, the private members, you saw the party's general secretary, he came out to say, look, this does not have the support of the party. You recall? You also do recall how President Mahama even came in to say that, listen, allow the office time to work. That is the political position of the party. The NDC, as a political party, the government led by President John Dramani Mahama has made it abundantly clear that the office should be permitted to work. But President Mahama does not have control over what the court decide. When an accused person, a person being prosecuted by the office, decides to challenge the decision to prosecute him before a court of competent jurisdiction, I struggle to understand how anybody would now turn that to be an NDC decision by the court. 2, the matter before the Supreme Court. Parties have been made to file their processes. Correct. And when parties file their processes, it's for the judges to decide. The last time I checked. Look, there was a case in this country, PCRP Ofori versus the Attorney General in respect of the Auditor General's matter. Even when the 2 parties agreed, the AG conceded that, look, they agree with the position canvassed PCRP. The Supreme Court said no. This is our view. And the Supreme Court has done that in many times, that they are not bound by the views of the parties. So what is really the point? Let the Supreme Court decide what the way forward in respect of this matter. But more importantly, on this morning, from nowhere, my brother then introduces President Mahama. He doesn't believe in LGBTQ and others. Ejapa, I think when you sleep, you dream of President Mahama. You see him in your dream. Because President Mahama has made it clear. If today, the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana passes this law, you are sent to it. Speaker of Parliament had affirmed that publicly. So what is the point? In any case, were we not in this country, respect, when you in Parliament, you got a law passed, the Clerk of Parliament was to transmit the bill passed by, including you, Ejapa, to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in a very arrogant, condescending manner. The secretary to the president at that time, Nana Santi Bedietu, wrote to the performance of a constitutional duty, a cease and desist. What was your outlook? You kept quiet. Were you protecting your appointment then? So you cannot, at this point, put the blame on President Mahama. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had the opportunity. What did he do? He blew it. What President Mahama do it?
Where do we go in this direction then? We wait for the Supreme Court?
You see, that's exactly what I had said earlier, that it was important for the Supreme Court to expeditiously determine the matter so that at least we will get to know where the law lords stand. But as far as I'm concerned, the power of the special prosecutor to prosecute pursuant to Act 959 is not in doubt. It's grounded firmly in the Constitution, in the statute itself, and in the regulations that have been passed by the same Attorney General to empower the special prosecutor to carry out its functions. You see, this LGBTQI thing, I said it with respect to a specific promise that the president made, that he would make it a public bill. Is that what he's done?
Even before you do it, MPs have put it before Parliament. So it's before Parliament, or you should withdraw it.
But why? He cannot.
That's your suggestion.
He didn't know that when he was promising that he was going to make it a public
MPs have taken the initiative.
Oh, so I'm asking you whether the president was unaware that the MPs had filed a private members bill.
No, but before Parliament, before the manifesto, there was no certain senior.
During the 8th Parliament, it was a private members bill that had gone
absolutely.
And he said that he was going to make it a public bill. Has he done it?
No, but MPs have refiled his thing. So why should he?
So if he didn't do it, I don't have a right to speak to it.
No, but that's not what you suggest.
That's exactly what I said. That he promised that he was going to make it a public bill. And he hasn't.
Don't worry, it will be passed. It will be passed to the glory of God.
I hope and pray that it's
passed.
It
will be passed, don't worry.
And that when he does, he will sign.
And that will be the difference between him and Anado.
There was an injunction. Same rule of law that you sit here and pontificate, we should work with. At the time that His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo did not sign the bill, there was a reason that some persons have gone to the Supreme Court and he was constrained. And so, hold on, when the court determines the matter, then we will take a decision on whether we
Nanado assented to the e-levy law at the time when I was lawyer for Mahama Yariga, Okujetu Ablakwa, Haruna Idrisu. That was when he assented the bill. There was a pen suit.
Was he injuncted?
Please, what are you talking about? There was a pending suit.
Pending suit.
In the Supreme Court, he still assented the e-levy law. So what are you trying to say?
Okay, so we quickly would need to take a look at a subject matter. There's been a debate, the OMC. They say it's not the government or the MPA, so to speak, that remove some of those or reduce some of those taxes. So just do the clarification. A minute.
Okay. Okay. Thankfully, he has been in the sector, so he has a better appreciation of the issues. Everything that has been done is pursuant to a cabinet directive. Cabinet chaired by President John Dramani Mahama. And you cannot take that away. This is a government-led initiative to cushion the burden on Ghanaians. No attempt can be made to confuse the matters. Where from this business of OMC and blah, 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 blah. It's not true. First of all, the authority by law and by its own governing, directive and instrument takes certain levies. It is those levies that the authority is using to cushion on behalf of government. Pursuant to a government directive. In fact, if you look at the MPA Act, he says we operate pursuant to government's directive, as indicated through either the board or ministerial. And he has been a deputy minister for energy. And he knows that whatever the energy ministry says, that is what the authority is mandated by law to do. And so when cabinet met and took a decision that ABCD should be done, and pursuant to that cabinet directive, ABCD decision was taken. I was surprised when I saw the ranking on energy. Honorable said, no, this one, it is not. I said, no. Maybe Honorable has not been properly briefed. We'll get the opportunity to appear before the Energy Committee and we'll appropriately brief them. But this is purely government initiative. Nothing more, nothing else.
I'm not surprised that the MPA and the government hasn't published the so-called relief that they've given to the public. Because the devil is always in the detail.
What's your view?
So, the fact from what I gather is that indeed and in fact, all the taxes and levies that goes to the government of Ghana by way of revenue to the state has not been touched.
So which ones have been touched?
NPA's levies that it collects for paying transport, fuel marking, that has been touched.
So the industry players?
No, not necessarily industry players.
No, it is not.
Wait. You and I understand
Senior,
this game.
Okay, but it is not.
Oh,
so don't say
relax,
not necessarily.
relax.
So you're questioning why the publication has not been done.
Yeah, of course,
Please,
because it will expose them.
And then your interaction and intelligence you picked up so far.
You see,
What
it will expose them. It will expose them. Tell us whether you touch the 1 cedi Dumso levy.
Why should we? If there's an alternative.
Because you see, the UPPF is for a purpose. Right? That's what you use in paying the transport from depots to the filling stations. So it goes into a fund that is purely used for that. So if you reduce it, and it goes beyond a certain time frame, and the fund is depleted, what happens?
But if the authority can pay for it, but if the authority can pay for it,
is it your money? Is it your money?
No, but it's the authority's funds.
It's not MPS funds.
It's MPS funds.
How is it MPS funds?
You have no idea what.
UPPF is MPS funds. You use it for administrative expense.
No.
But your funds is your administrative expense.
They are savings that can be used.
This is your tricks. This is your juju and tricks. You see, that's exactly what you do. Because the time is not allowing us. You expose the ministry and you put the deception.
Lawyer Edwin Tamaklo, CEO, MPA. Big issue is sponsored by University of Gold Coast. And just in case you're looking for that specialist MBA in marketing communications, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance through their dual MBA or charter manager MBA, the University of Gold Coast is the best for you. So whether you're working, they have a schedule customized for you to be able to work. You can pay your fees in tranches. All right? And so please make sure you get in touch with them today. Get onto their social media platforms as much as you can, because April admissions are open today. All right? So also go look out for the University of Gold Coast. Edwigi and lawyer Edwigi.
What you know if you do, John Mahama do. What you know if you do, you know that song playing for.
Yeah. So please make sure you get in touch with them. We have the number 026 388 8555. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest in sports. Remember, we do have that great interaction with the Deputy Attorney General, Justice Shremsai, after the break.
I said, play that song.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
speaking, among other things, on this constitutional standoff of sorts between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Attorney General's office and their functions as properly defined in law. Now, before that, we've been talking since last year about a certain need for you to save. Now, at the end of every year, we all have these fantastic resolutions about how we are going to save better and do better with our money. We start the year and then we fall back into old habits. But last year, I remember just towards the end of the year, the beginning of December, GCB Bank started talking about an advertising a program, an initiative for us to save. And I think we talked about it here. Well, it's been about 5 to 6 months. We are coming to talk about it again, and we'll see how well we have all done and how far we can go this year when it comes to our savings. I'm joined in the studio by my friends from GCB Bank to talk about the Pat to Pa savings promo. We're joined in studio by Margaret Obimpe, Head of Personal Banking at GCB Bank PLC. Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning.
Great to have you.
Good to have you too.
And also by Richard Wobble, Liabilities Manager, Retail Banking at GCB Bank PLC. Hello.
Hi.
And good to have you too.
Thank you.
Margaret, you look very lovely. I like your composure. I'm trying to match up. All right.
Thank you, Nana.
Tell me about the GCB Pat to Pat promo.
Okay.
What's it all about?
All right. First of all, let me say good morning to your choice viewers, and then also thank them for taking time off their busy schedule this Monday morning and coming to listen to us for what we have for them this morning. Pat to Pat promo is a 5-month promo that began on the 1st of December, like you mentioned, 2025, and it's going to run for the 5 months and it's supposed to end on the 30th of April, which is about a few days coming up.
Yeah.
It is just to encourage customers, like you mentioned, to imbibe the habit of savings and be able to save towards kind of needs that they would have in the future. But as they're doing that too as well, we try to give them rewards for exhibiting those behaviors. So basically that is it.
And was this for every customer, or did you have to be a special kind of customer to participate?
It is for every customer.
Okay.
Every GCB customer qualifies to be part of this promo. And for the past 4 months, we've seen people really save. So we're excited about how the promo is going.
For those who haven't started, or those who didn't take part, we are almost towards the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we still take part? How do we do that?
Yeah, you can still take part in the promo, even though we have a few days to end.
10 days.
10 days, exactly. But what it means is, I mean, the law of compounding interest. It means those who started early have a stronger chance of winning the finale. But if you bring in big sums towards the end, you also stand a good chance of winning.
All right, but you can still participate from today.
Yes, from today.
But you have to make sure the money is hefty.
Exactly.
So that you stand the chance of smiling at the end of promo.
Exactly.
What exactly is going to happen at the end of the promo?
So, like I mentioned, we are rewarding customers for being able to save. And then what is going to happen is that if you actually had watched the proceedings from the time we started, every month we're rewarding customers. And we said at the end of the 5th month, which is the grand finale, we're going to reward 10 people, which we did in the first 4 months. But this grand finale one is going to be a special one where we have 5 of those that are going to be selected, going to watch the World Soccer Fiesta live in Canada and then USA.
You mean we're going to the World Cup?
Yes.
Even those who joined from today?
Yes.
It's possible.
Possible.
Because it's a draw, is it?
Possible.
No, it's not a draw.
So how would you pick your winner?
Yeah, so how it goes is a mechanism. You deposit 300 and you maintain. If you're able to deposit 300 and you maintain it for a month, you get a point. You're going to ask a question, so we are left with 10 days. How can I travel the 1 month that we are talking about? It's not about that. We look at your average growth in the month. So if you started on the 20th and you put in so much, we look at your average in the month and then be able to score you. So every 300 in growth of your average deposit gets you a point. So somebody who is able to deposit so much today.
So if I come and deposit 20,000 today?
Yes.
Then
So what will happen is that, and you leave the 20,000 for the rest of the 10 days.
I don't touch it.
You don't touch it. Each and every day, your balance is going to be 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. So we'll put that 20,000 together in the number of days and divide it by 30 days, which is the 30 period that we are looking at for.
Okay.
Then we get your average kind of deposit growth for the month. Divided by 300. Each 300 is giving you a point.
Okay.
Then you get the point for each 300.
I normally would struggle with mathematics, but I kind of understand this.
Yeah.
You've been able to break it down very simply.
Yeah.
But how are we sure that this is free and fair? Because their customers are many, and you are not doing a lucky dip. You actually have to look at the numbers and determine who goes.
Yeah.
How do we know that this is fair and transparent?
I mean, we want to assure our customers that this is really, really fair and transparent, mainly because, one, our internal auditors ensure that whichever data we put together to go through the draw is very fair.
Okay.
So we have assurance from our internal auditors. Externally, we are also working with NLA. So
Okay.
NLA is part of the process to ensure that there's transparency, there's fairness, and customers are rewarded based on what we're telling them.
It's fair and transparent.
Yes, very, very fair and
You're not going
transparent.
to look through and say, oh, this is my favorite customer. Oh, this
Not
customer is
at
very
all.
good. Anyone at all can win.
Not
All
at
right.
all.
Any
Yeah.
customer at all can
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, any customer.
All
And for
right.
the past 3 months, actually, every month, there have been a draw.
Randoms.
And different people have won
Okay.
awards. Yeah.
You have a QR code that customers can scan
Yes.
to participate in this promo.
Exactly.
All right, so if you haven't heard about this promo, if you've heard about it and you weren't sure how to be a part of it, we're going to put it up on the screen in a moment. That's a QR code. Take your mobile phone, open your camera on your phone. A code will pop up on the camera screen. Click on it, and it will take you to a page, all right? If you can't scan it right now, just take a picture of it. You can scan it with another phone later, okay? So just take a picture of the QR code that's on the screen now, and you can use another phone to scan it. Later, it still works that way, and that's how you can join the promo.
Let me, if I can explain,
Yes.
add something to the QR code. In fact, we're looking at 3 categories of customers who can be able to participate in the promo. We have our existing customers, and we have those who are yet to join GCB, who do not have any account with GCB, and we also have dormant account holders. The existing customers, they don't have any problem at all. They only have to deposit the 300 and multiples of it, maintain it, and get a number of points. But we are looking at those who do not have account with us, who would want to join. And luckily enough, now you don't need to walk into our banking halls to open an account. You can, at the comfort of your home, in your bed, scan this QR code that we just showed you, and then it will take you to a process to open an account immediately. And this is not just like a limited account or sort of, but a full-fledged account where you can, if it's a savings account, it's a savings account. If it's a current account, it's a current account. Then you can make deposit and start from there, right from your home. You don't need to come to the banking hall for this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing about the grand finale. It will happen on the 30th, right, of this month?
In actual fact, in the first week of May, because we have to pull the data and let me add this into it. The 5 people who go, 4 of them is based on number of points that you've gotten. But with NLA, we came out with something where it could be like a draw, like we mentioned earlier. So one person will come out of a draw. So we put in a pool all customers who had performed transactions within a period. We put them in a pool, and then the system will pick one
person.
One person.
So
to
one
join the
person
other
is just
4.
a lucky dip, like a
Lucky
lottery.
dip, exactly.
All right. Well, there you have it. And fingers crossed, if you took part in the promo and you are watching this morning, I will prophesy into your life. If you are watching us right now, you will be one of the 5. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. There's a GCB Part 2 Part promo, which started on the 1st of December. If you didn't start early, you can start today. Deposits, maintain your balance. Don't go and be taking it every day. Allow cash out. Don't do that. Just leave it there, and you stand a chance of being one of the lucky winners at the end of this month. And if you are not able to do it at all, GCB always has amazing promotions that you can participate in. So keep your ears on the ground and follow their socials for more information. That's how we wrap up this conversation. There's something else you want to add?
Yeah, now, so I just wanted to also seize this opportunity to encourage our customers and all Ghanaians that I mean, the key impact or objective of this campaign was to build a savings culture, something that we don't do well enough as citizens of this country. So just to encourage everybody that GCB, your bank for life, we are open, our doors are widely open. We want to encourage everybody to have a savings culture, build that savings towards something that we are looking forward to do. So even when the promo ends, please, let's continue to save. A little drop of water builds a mighty ocean. Thank you
so much. Margaret Obimpe and Richard Wobble here with the GCB Pack to Power promo. All right. Up next, we have sports. Stay with us.
See how they slack.
And then getting people to see how good you are.
The women are always making us proud.
Yes, and so it's a good achievement for Ampem Darkwa ladies, and hopefully they can perform well when it gets to that WAF to be a championship and then secure an overall place in the Women's Champions League.
And then the Bundesliga.
Yes, Harry Kane has won his third trophy in his career, second Bundesliga trophy in the world, because Bayern Munich defeated Stuttgart by 4-2 to clinch the title. But before we talk about all of that in detail, of course, we do have a report by Akosua J, who highlighted Ampem Darkwa's win in the Women's Premier League.
Ampem Darkwa ladies marked their presence in the Ghana Women's Premier League by winning their first ever title in 2016 against Hazakes ladies. Year after year, they have been competing against the same rivals, the same competitors. But today at the Swedro Sports Stadium, it was Ampem Darkwa ladies who rose up on the day to win 2-1 against Hazakes ladies. Goals from Priscilla Otre and Gloria Adomako cancelled out Abiba Issa's goal that she scored in the first half to give Ampem Darkwa the trophy in the 2025-2026 season. But it also means that now Hazakes ladies and Ampem Darkwa ladies are at par in terms of the trophies won in the Ghana Women's Premier League. Hazakes ladies now have won 5. Ampem Dakwa ladies, after winning their first title in 2016, have also won 5. So when it comes to who will represent Ghana at the next WAFU B Women's Champions League qualifiers, it will be Ampem Dakwa ladies from Techiman representing Ghana. From the Swedro Sports Stadium, I am Akosia AJ for TV Sports.
The excitement in that report, yes, but we're talking about the Bundesliga.
Yes, Harry Kane getting his 3rd trophy in total, 2nd league trophy, back-to-back trophies. He did score as Bayern Munich defeated Stuttgart by 4-2. And so Bayern Munich, once again, German champions. Basically, they've dominated this league for fighting literally on all fronts to dominate the whole of Europe.
Yeah. Beyond that, Same Kufuor has also been talking about some other issues.
Yes, Same Kufuor, who is a Bayern Munich legend himself, praised Vincent Kompany, who has won back-to-back league titles, and also noted that his achievement has opened the door for more black coaches to coach some of the top European teams in the world.
Vincent Kompany, you know, there's been a lot of talk about black footballers not getting opportunity to coach at the highest level in Europe. How big a deal it is that Kompany is coach of Bayern Munich, that he's won the Bundesliga, and that he's doing well in the Champions League. How important is it to black footballers?
We have a platform. There's a Bayern Munich Legends platform. And there was a critic going towards Vincent. We call him Vinny. And the one who was criticizing him was Paul Breitner, the old Paul Breitner, one of the greatest ever. He was criticizing him, and he could see Effenberg and all those players coming in to support him. So that tells me they have already accepted him. He won the league. He went out last year, quarterfinal against Real Madrid. And then, now, he's into semi-final. He's the first black coach to train in Germany, a country that we are all saying that they are racist. And we have now a black coach coaching one of the top clubs in the world. And he's doing so well. And the way they are playing football, it's amazing. Everybody saying, wow, is this Pep Guardiola? Is this what? Is it Johan Cruyff? No. He has adopted and learned from certain things. I mean, on our platform, Guardiola make a very big impact for Kompany to get into Bayern Munich. Yeah. Because Oleones and those people, they contact him, say, give him the job, let him try, let him do it. And now, he's one of the top.
Do you think the way he's doing will open more doors for black managers?
Of course. Because don't forget that we have John Barnes that was coaching, even in Scotland. Paul Ince that was coaching in England, didn't work out. Patrick Vieira, they sabotaged him and it didn't work out. But now this guy has opened so many doors, and he's young. So it's opportunity for probably Michael Essien, who is now into coaching, that will have the opportunity, Coro Touré, that is attached to Man City. So the door is wide open for the black.
Yeah, indeed. And we're talking about Arsenal earlier. You know, the other time I was telling someone who told me he was a Manchester fan. I said, please, 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 come to a proper team.
Yeah.
I wonder what the person will be thinking right now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, the rival fans would definitely, I mean, winning just one of their last 6 matches in all competitions, and this has just added to it. And although, stats more in City's hands than in Arsenal's hands.
Maybe I shouldn't talk about miracle. The last time Utuado talked about it, so what happened?
Yeah, and these were the results. City defeated Arsenal 2-1. Aston Villa defeated Sunderland 4-3. Liverpool defeated Everton 2-1. Nottingham defeated Burnley 4-1. Chelsea won. United 0. No, it's rather the other way around. United defeated Chelsea by 1-0. Tottenham drew 2-2 with Brighton. We have Leeds defeating Wolves 3-0. Bournemouth defeating Newcastle 2-1. Brentford drew 0-0 with Fulham. And then later, Crystal Palace will be facing West Ham United.
And then we have the
table.
I think,
yeah.
World Cup.
Yeah, and that's the table. Arsenal leading still, but City have a game in hand and could tie it.
37 So it's just 3 points apart, eh?
Yeah, but
3
City
points and
still have one more game in hand,
Yeah.
so they could fight if they win their game in hand at the moment.
Well, what else do we need to know?
Of course, we are still building up to the 2026 World Cup. A lot more information coming your way, especially on Sports Daily, which starts at 10 a.m. this morning. So do stay tuned for that. And for more updates, you can also check 3 Sports on all social media platforms.
Thank you very much, Debilishan, for bringing us the latest in sports. And of course, you're still here on Newday on TV3. We did promise you that we're going to bring you that exclusive conversation with the Deputy Attorney General, Justice Shremsai. He had that conversation with my colleague, Mawena Egbeta. Watch this. Deputy Attorney General Justice Remsai and my colleague Mawina Egbeta.
Right. With me is the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Remsai, to answer a number of questions in relation to what has been a topical subject area over the last 48 hours in relation to the prosecutorial powers of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Counsel. I appreciate you joining us. How would you say the
pleasure is mine.
AG's office is faring in the light of all of these conversations?
Yeah, so the office that, as you may know, is a very busy office. It has always been very busy because you are dealing with the justice system, particularly the criminal justice system for the whole country. And a lot of things are happening even outside Accra. Accra alone is enough to, to make you busy. Then if you add all the other 15 regions to it, then you know that there's a lot of work. But let me say that our attorneys are really, helping us to sustain the work that we are doing. They are very lustrous. They have challenges, serious challenges in the department, but they are really doing well. And a lot of things are on track. We believe that we are delivering the mandate for which the office is set up. Most often people think of the high-profile cases,
right?
The ones that involve political matters. But the real work, a lot of the work is the man you have no idea exists. The people you don't know exist. They are the ones we actually work for most of the time. And so we are good. The AG's office is good. We are on track.
All right. If you're good, the question on a lot of minds is, why is the Office of the Attorney General in such a hurry to take over cases currently before the Special Prosecutor?
Well, that is it's far from the reality. We are not in a hurry at all. There's nothing, first of all, we are not interested in taking over the job of the Special Prosecutor. We are not in a hurry either to do so. The issue at stake, it will be completely a misunderstanding of what is at stake or what the issue is if it is simplified as the Office of the Attorney General trying to take away, did you say take away?
Take over cases within the remit of the OSP.
Total misunderstanding of the issue, which will lead someone to think that way. And I know there may be people who would see it that way, but there's absolutely no evidence to suggest that the Office of Attorney General is interested in taking over the case. Now, it will mean we probably have to look at two things. There are two cases at the center of this issue, right? I'll take the first one, which is the decision that was given on Wednesday by the Accra High Court. So that is a case involving someone who has been charged by the Special Prosecutor to have committed offenses. So the Special Prosecutor arrested this person and charged him, I think, middle of last year. So it's not even a fresh case, middle of last year. They charged him for some of the offenses, corruption-related offenses. And the person filed a preliminary legal objection challenging the power of the Special Prosecutor to prosecute him. His argument was that the office was set up by the OSP Act. And the OSP Act directs the OSP to prosecute back on the authorization of the Attorney General. So he filed what we call habeas corpus. What we call quo warranto. Quo warranto is a special rate which says that if you're a public officer and you're exercising a certain power, you should be able to justify where you got the power from. In other words, who gave you the warrant? On whose warrant are you doing this?
On whose authority?
Authority are you performing this public function? So the person's rate was basically asking the court to invite the Office of the Special Prosecutor to show the authorization or the evidence of the authority to prosecute. So that's basically what the case was about. This is not the first time that something like this has happened. There's been instances where the agencies, other state agencies, law enforcement agencies that we give fiat to prosecute cases have been questioned. I remember one was on SEPS, Custom Excise and Preventive Service.
You've given them a fiat to be able to prosecute.
Yes. So that was, they used to be called SEPS. Now they are part of GRE. At the time they were SEPS, they had a fiat to prosecute. But when the legislative review came and they became part of GRE is now a new legal entity. They were prosecuting someone who said that they didn't have a fiat. They were trying to say that they had a fiat when they were SEPS or something. But now they don't have it. The court decided in that case that since you don't have the fiat, you couldn't, Recently, there was a couple of cases like that. So this is just a normal thing that happens if you are, of course, if you are being prosecuted and you have any doubt as to who the authority of the person prosecuting you, I think you are entitled to, as it were, challenge it. And that's what the person did. We were not aware of this case. That's the Office of the Attorney General. Personally, I don't even know this accused person. This file has never come to our office. We, just like everyone else, got to know of the decision that the court has ordered that we should go and take over the cases on grounds that the OSP was not able to show that they have authorization from the Attorney General, contrary to their own act. So the case that happened in the High Court had nothing to do with constitutional interpretation. Because the act, I don't know if you have looked at the act, but the act specifically says that...
I have the objects right in front of me.
Yeah, subject to Article 88, the OSP will prosecute based on the authorization of the Attorney General. That's what the legislation says. So the person is saying that if you are prosecuting me, then you should show your
authority upon which
you are prosecuting. That the OSP was not able to show. So the court...
Right, to the extent that a similar matter is currently before the Supreme Court, and in a criminal jurisdiction of the High Court, that judge had stayed their hand, deferring on to the Supreme Court to make a decision. Many will say that general jurisdiction could have stayed its hand as well. Yes, that doesn't fall within your remit, but in terms of what played out.
In terms of what, I don't have a full record, but what I know is that the near pendency of a similar matter in the Supreme Court does not operate at a stay to any court that is deciding. It is good if the court is aware, or it has been brought to the court's attention, and the judge decides that, well, I will wait. That is fine. Even if a judge knows and decides that I won't wait, I will make my decision, it doesn't invalidate the decision itself. Yet, you may question the judge's discretion as to whether to wait or not, especially when I have no evidence that it was brought to the judge's attention and was he was prayed to stay. But be that as it may, like I said, we were not parties to the case, so we didn't know what happened. The decision has been made, and we have been asked to order to do certain things. So we just have to be. Why would someone interpret this as we are in a hurry to take over the cases of the special prosecutor?
In reading the orders of the High Court, which has now become the subject of the conversation, yes, he ordered that the AG takes over the cases pending authorization to the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Precisely.
Many will say that should be of concern to the Attorney General, given that authorization for that matter to proceed.
It is.
Instead of...
It is of concern
the decision to want to openly come out and state that, okay, we're taking over, and no mention at all as to authorization.
No. What I put out yesterday did not say that we are taking over cases.
In the coming days.
I said we'll take steps to give effect to the decision of the courts, right? So, like you said, we should be concerned because as far as we know, all prosecutions in the country is being done in our name.
Right.
So if we are there and the court says that there is this number of cases because the OSP doesn't have power to prosecute and is prosecuting, we should take over. Do you want us to spend 1 month thinking about what to do, or you'll be interested, like you said, we should be concerned. And my understanding of concern means that we should do something to remedy the situation. That is what we are going to do. So why would someone interpret that to mean we are in a hurry to take over the cases? So the point I'm trying to make is that I appreciate I won't call it propaganda,
right?
The misinformation out there. Because yesterday I was speaking with someone who said, it was actually a radio, presentation. Somebody said the AG went to court to ask that the OSP be sacked, which, first of all, we didn't go to court. We were not even aware of this.
So we'll come to the aspect of conversation surrounding whether or not this is a grand scheme of some sort, particularly in relation to the matter before the Supreme Court. But on the subject matter of authorization, where have we been in the past in terms of the work that has been done by the special prosecutor up until now? Because there's an argument that's been made that the former Attorney General, Gloria Kufu, took the bill for the creation of the office to Parliament. By that singular act, it became a delegation of some sort of the prosecutorial powers.
Okay, that clearly is a misunderstanding of how the lawmaking process works and how law actually works. It's a total misunderstanding of it. When you send a bill to Parliament, okay, you are not the owner of the law that comes out. You are neither the author of the law that comes out. You are not the lawmaker. So a private person who takes a bill, there are two pathways to sending a bill to Parliament. One that will be sent by a private member and one that will be sent by the government. Whichever way the bill goes to Parliament, once Parliament does the first reading, it is entirely Parliament's creature. Parliament is the one responsible for the bill. So Parliament because Parliament can change the bill, anything in the bill, including the memorandum, can change anything and pass a bill that you may not even be interested in anymore, but they will pass the bill. And that is why there is another provision that when the bill is passed, the president should give his assent, because it is a recognition of the understanding that you taking the bill to Parliament does not mean that you are the one, you have the final say. So if Parliament has finished with this process, then the president will give his assent. The giving of the assent itself is not an authorization. It's not the fact, it doesn't mean that the president is making the bill, or he's just saying that this bill, I agree that it has been made. Thirdly, it doesn't matter how all this went. Otherwise, if that's the case, then we can never declare any law unconstitutional. The fact that it has gone through the legislative process and has come out as law doesn't mean that it is sacrosanct. If it were, then there shouldn't be any provision in Article 2 which says that when a law is made contrary to them, you can strike it out. So the argument that because the AG participated in the lawmaking process, it is neither here nor there as far as law is concerned. Maybe for other areas of thought and discipline, maybe that matters. But as far as law is concerned, and my understanding of law doesn't tell me that when you participate in the lawmaking process, whatever comes out, then you are deemed to be the maker of the law. The law can come out, in fact, you can even comply with the law, and what you have done in accordance with the law will be nullified.
Right.
So it is not one of the arguments that carries weight as far as
this entire conversation
is concerned. It has no merit as far as the issue is concerned.
So since the assent to that OSP Act in 2018, there has not been any executive instrument from the Attorney General's office giving authorization.
As far as I know, there's no executive instrument to authorize the Office of a Special Prosecutor. And indeed, I think the case we just discussed gave the opportunity to the OSP because they were parties to the case. So if they had such instrument, they would have presented it. And if they had any argument to make, whether legal, like even including the one you just put to me, that the participation of the Attorney General in the whole process should be deemed to have been authorization. If they had any such argument, definitely they would have put it before the court. And if they put it before the court and the court weighs it and decides that that is not it, it is not for me to decide. That is why we are saying that the court has heard the matter. They have made orders. We're not parties, but the orders were directed, at us that we should do something. We cannot disobey the court, neither can we ignore the court and sit down unconcerned. It's a serious matter because we are talking of corruption, we are talking of justice, we are talking of human rights here. We can't sit down and say that would be irresponsible for us to sit down and think that because we're not parties to the case or because of some other consideration, we will not take any steps. So we will definitely take steps to remedy the situation.
In taking the steps, and we're talking authorization, because it doesn't look like its powers to investigate and all of that has come up for any conversation. It's just a prosecutorial. Yeah. Why haven't you granted that in the wake of all of this? There are those who say you're waiting on the office to write to you before you issue that that fiat.
There is a process for issuing the EI. You can't sidestep the process and say, and in any case, okay, let's grant it. Let's assume that there's even no process. What is wrong if the OSP writes to seek authorization? Is that if you want to drive, do you sit at home for DVLA to come and look for you and give you a driver's license? Don't you take if you want electricity in your house? The fact that you want electricity, ECG needs your money. They know you need electricity, but don't you take steps to apply for the connection to be done? So, and is it so difficult to apply? If it's not difficult, why is the application not being made? Why is the question always to the AG that we should rather? So we should go. And when you apply for EI, you have to show that you are giving the EI to this person, this person, this person, because the person who is doing the prosecution, not the office. Office is not the one; it's the human being who is the lawyer who is doing the prosecution. So that is how it is. Is there any reason why you think that the application should not be made? And why do you think they are not making the application?
That feeds into perceptions that there are simmering tensions between the OSP and the Attorney General's office.
As far as I know, there is no tension between us. I mean, we've been collaborating and a lot for that matter. So, and the collaboration, it's not everything that we can put out. I hope you understand, because we are law enforcement agencies. There are so many things that we can discuss where you can put out. But I am not aware of any tension. Neither am I aware of any fight between the OSP. Other agencies are always. Recently, Gold Board applied for executive instruments and prosecute. NAPOC. So they are all applying. I don't know, unless there is a reason why the OSP will not apply. But if OSP applies and we say we will not grant, I think then you can say that you can question us, why are you not granting? And I have no doubt in my mind, because see, President Mahama made it clear, even when he was campaigning, that he has no intention of diminishing the OSP or its work. That is still true. The NDC has made its position on OSP clear, even though when the law was being made, NDC as a political party and our members of parliament were very clear on our position that the only way to create an independent prosecutor or prosecuting authority is to amend the constitution. Every lawyer that I know, let me add, every person who understands their constitutional law, and all the respected lawyers of constitutional or public law that I know hold the same position. As a matter of fact, the special prosecutor himself, when he was being vetted, he said the same thing, that look, 88 is the problem. We have to amend 88 to be able to firmly establish. So it is never in dispute, as far as my mind is concerned, that you need to amend the constitution to achieve the independence. That was not done. And the act that was supposed to do it even said that you are subject to 88. So, as far as I'm concerned, what ought to have been done was to apply for the authorization to be given.
Then comes the question, the SP and the Attorney General are in tandem with respect to 88 being a problem.
Yeah.
You've known, and his position has been known since.
Yeah.
What are the steps which have been taken if collaboration, like you mentioned, is very great amongst both offices to deal with what is the challenge, which is 88?
No, when we collaborate, we don't collaborate to make laws. You understand?
No, in terms of the amendments, because
that's what
the AG has held that position for a very long time.
The amendment is a lawmaking process. And I'm saying that our functions, that's Attorney General's procedural function and OSP's procedural function, is not about lawmaking. Lawmaking is a policy that governments make.
Right.
They decide the policy in cabinet and then they convert the policy into law. So it is not, we may help in that, but as you can see...
Have you helped in that regard?
Well, in the lawmaking process.
In terms of that amendment, because that is a subject matter, and so almost every lawyer,
you are aware,
like you mentioned,
you are aware,
has spoken to that fact.
You are aware that our government set up the Constitution Review Committee to review the Constitution, and that includes 88. And in fact, there is a recommendation on that. So if you talk of efforts to correct this, there are efforts underway. And so our government has not been irresponsible as far as this issue is concerned. And that's what I'm saying. That is why I am saying that the people or the school of thought that there is a fight between OSP and AG, I honestly don't see where the evidence behind or supporting that claim. Has OSP ever come out to say that there's a fight, he has a problem with us? No, I don't recall. As the Attorney General ever said somewhere that there's a fight. There's no fight between the two of us. We are doing our work. What you cannot get us to do is to see an obvious illegality, something that all of us have agreed that is illegal. And then because of whatever reason we say it is legal, no, that cannot be.
On the executive instrument which gives the fiat to the respective agencies, I want you to help us understand that. After that fiat is given, do all the cases being prosecuted come before the Attorney General for review?
No, it doesn't work that way. Once you get a fiat, you conduct your case and you do what you have to do. And you don't have to come to us every day when you get a new case to say, give us a fiat for this particular case. No, we vest you with the power to decide which cases to take to court and all that. So you don't come back to us every day for directions or anything. No, we don't do that.
But what is the view of the AG, the AG's office, with respect to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the work it's supposed to be doing, particularly in that independent nature?
Let me tell you one thing. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, if properly done, or the intention behind the creation of that office is a noble one. It is one that I don't see anybody opposing because it is so necessary that it has to be there. And let me give you an example. We at the AGs, we are doing so many prosecutions. We do so many things. Murder, we are prosecuting. Armed robbery, we are prosecuting. Rape, we are prosecuting. Financial, whatnot, we have almost everything we are prosecuting. So, but to fight corruption, it makes so much sense to say that let's set up one institution which will focus on corruption, because corruption is a very complex and a very difficult area of crime that people don't commit corruption openly. They commit corruption with so many schemes in place. Now, our point is that it is good to get a dedicated institution, organization to do that. And we have done that in other situations. So, for example, if you are talking of tax fraud and evasion, we have GRA and they have their lawyers, and that's what they prosecute.
Right.
Because they focus on that. We have economic and organized crime, they do this. And so we don't have any problem with the special prosecutors office being set up. In terms of the independence is necessary, but it must be done in accordance with the law that we have all agreed to guide our life, that is the Constitution. You cannot say because the thing is so good, so then let's do it anyhow. That is what you can't see.
In granting the executive instrument, should they apply, or which is the expectation going forward, and they apply to the AG and you grant them that executive instrument, does that still guarantee the independence which is supposed to, the office is supposed to have?
No, it won't. But that is the whole point. That is the issue. That is the point we have been trying to make, that to get the independence that we all think is required, you should amend Article 88. That is the whole point here.
I asked that question specifically because if you grant the fiat, their cases will not come to you for a review.
No, it won't. It won't.
And so they will be free to operate and go after any individual they believe has engaged in any corrupt activity. Won't that guarantee to an extent a freedom to operate and deal thoroughly with corruption-related matters?
It would, but to some extent.
What is the extent?
So, for example, if I think the concern has been that because the Attorney General is the only person who can prosecute, right? And the Attorney General is a member of government, the Attorney General is unlikely, and the evidence has shown over the decades that the Attorney Generals are unlikely to prosecute their own colleague ministers and other political appointees when they are in power. And that is why you only see people being prosecuted, political appointees being prosecuted after their government has left. So the concern is that, and the belief is that if we keep the prosecutorial power within the Attorney General alone, the situation I've just described will continue. So perhaps if we separate the OSP or a prosecutor who is independent, he would be able to do the prosecution without thinking about that. Now, if the OSP is conducting that prosecution on the Attorney General, some of the possibilities would be that we may enter nolle prosequi to stop, which we still can. Whatever case the OSP is conducting now, we can still enter nolle prosequi and stop it. This is not for you to make a caption and say the Attorney General says we will enter nolle. No, I'm just explaining to you, because I know some of the things that happen in the media.
That's
for eyeball. You make a story to say that I said they should enter nolle prosequi, but I'm just giving you the reasons why the clear independence is necessary. You understand? So that is the extent to which it can be, the OSP can be independent.
To the Supreme Court and the pending matter, what will be the expectation? I'm not asking you to make a pronouncement as to, but based on the trajectory that we've been on, what is the expectation of the AG's office going into that matter?
No, we have filed our arguments, right? We have presented our arguments to the court through an application for extension to file. They've granted us the leave to file, and we will file next week, okay? Our position is not a position which is controversial. It is not different from the position that all the distinguished lawyers that I know have held. It is not even different from the position of the special prosecutor himself. It is the same position that to be able to guarantee the independence of the special prosecutor, you should amend Article 88. That is our argument before the court.
Right. The individual who's gone to the Supreme Court has been a subject matter of interest, your association with him, and behind the circles, some saying that this is all a grand ploy, which feeds into the earlier argument I had made about a certain rift between your office and the office of the special prosecutor, and it appears a grand collusion to clip the wings of the OSP. How do you respond to the conversations like that, which will come up and have come up and continue to come?
I sympathize with the position because, I used to think that it was a genuine mistake of people, or a genuine concern that people were raising, that because the person, Noah had been he was working in my law firm and I trained him. So the connection is said that you pushed him to start this for you so that you can be on the other side. I used to think it was a genuine, concern that they had until when the High Court decided, and I saw the same set of people who were saying that we were parties to the case, we took the OSP to court and get. So it means that people are determined to create a certain impression, and they are creating it. Now, I'll answer your question. You see, this firm, we have produced lawyers who, after a year, have gone to do things. If I told you that the lawyer who is representing the plaintiff in the Wesley Girls case was here in this firm, one of the lawyers I trained. Noah is one of such. So is it the case that if I train a lawyer, and here we have a certain mentality, if you come to this firm, I mean, my former firm, let me put it that way, because now I work with the government. So my former firm, there's a philosophy, it's independent thought. That's what so even when I used to be there was no way I could impose my will on any lawyer there. They will reject it. So it is very disrespectful of Noah, a very distinguished academic, a man of
disrespect to his intellect, you mean?
Yeah, intellect. And his person to think that he doesn't have any sense and that he is going to do this because I have told him. And if I wanted to do something like this, I think they should give me some credit. I would take someone else from very far to do this. I won't go and bring someone to, and I didn't even know when he filed it. But I'm not saying I have ignored this because I don't think it's even necessary anyways. So even if I told him to do it, so what? Does that mean that the Supreme Court, all the judges who will sit, they all would follow my direction and do what I want to be done?
There's a claim of grand collusion by the minority, starting from that private members bill, which was shot down by the president, petitions which could not see.
Shouldn't that rather be evidence that there's no grand collusion? Because if there was such a grand collusion by government, why would the president be interested in shooting it down? Unless they are saying that the government is confused. So, because if there's such a grand collusion, there should be, once the MP started, the president would have kept quiet. After all, he has no business telling the MPs what to do. He would have kept quiet for it to go. But the president said, no, this is not what we want to focus on. So let's leave it and focus on things that matter. And after that, I think the whole parliament agreed. So I don't know why that is even a topic, but be that as it may, even if I told Noah to file this case and he filed it, he still has to make sense to the judges to agree. Unless the theory too is that all the judges too are part of the collusion. If that's the case, then I don't even need to bring Noah to make that point. Then anybody else could have made it, and it will still be upheld by the judges.
Right.
So for me, it is not one of the arguments that I will pay attention to. There are genuine concerns because we need to fight corruption. We have to put in place the mechanism and the institution to do that. We have all agreed way back CRC level at the CRC time, CRC 2010, 2012, we've all agreed that the best way to get this done is to separate the two, the prosecutorial powers from the Minister of Justice so that we can have an independent prosecution. That has been the song for everybody. So we have to do it. And if we don't do it and we think that we can use some shortcut, unsustainable approach to do it, I listened to Honorable Ayikotu, right?
Right.
He was emphatic. He said, look, we all knew. He said, we all knew. And he's talking from the position of being a senior lawyer and also a senior lawyer of the NPP. He said they all knew that this was not the way to go. Yet they went just for some short-term relief. Pemka, who was the Deputy Attorney General at the time, said the same thing. He said, look, at the time, we all knew this was not the way forward. So I don't even think it's controversial.
Right.
It is not.
It cuts across.
It cuts across.
I'm going to go back to that case about a rift between your office and the Office of the Special Prosecutor, because the first Special Prosecutor and the man who was responsible for a huge chunk of the drafting of the act, which was then a bill, says that the relationship between the OSP and the Attorney General is beyond repair as we speak. Martin Amido.
Well, I have not been fortunate to read.
He's actually put up an episode.
Yes, I've not been fortunate to read his article. But if you have read it, maybe has he provided any evidence of the claim? Has he substantiated? Or he's just like anybody who just watches and says that, oh, I think there's a rift. Has he given reasons why you think there's a rift?
Not that I've seen in terms of.
So then you see, that's why I was saying that until we see some substance in that claim, because as far as I know, if I need anything from OSP today, any assistance, and if they need any assistance, they would really, I will ask. And if I ask and they have it, they will give me. And if they ask and we have it, then we collaborate.
That conversation with my colleague Mawina Egbeta, really looking at a lot of issues, particularly the one concerning the rift between the special prosecutor and the Attorney General Dominic Ayine. I think it's a comment that a lot of people have been making, which is why they conclude that what is going on is a matter of ego and, one office trying to prove that it has power. Yes, but yes, interesting conversation.
According to him, that's not the case.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not the case.
Yes.
We will bring you some more on this interview on some of our subsequent news bulletins to come soon, today, on TV3. But if you cashed out this morning, it's a good time to check your Momo, win and smile. Let's take our first draw for the morning. If your phone number is 0256-256***, congratulations, you've won. How much are we giving away today?
1,000.
1,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
That's our first draw for the morning. We'll do the subsequent ones off air. So keep your eyes locked on your phone. You just might be a lucky winner for today. And that's how we wrap up the show today.
Yes.
Yes, it's been a lovely, good Monday on the show today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nash Shoko. Roland Walker has been here with us and...
I'm here as well.
See you same time tomorrow.
Yes.